Three, two, one, cut. Or not cut, action. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Geeks Reborn Podcast. Completely forgot the title of my own show. I'm your host, Renier de la Cueva, and my special guest tonight is David Flood. Yes, sir. We've been a longtime friends since high school. Connected because, my reignited interest with wrestling again. We've been talking about it, and to be honest, like I said numerous times, it's so exciting to talk about. It's so exciting, interesting, and all around fun to finally have someone to talk wrestling about. So I'm excited. Anyway, how are you today, David?
I am doing great. Ready to talk about some wrestling.
Wrestling. All right. So my plan is to upload this video by tomorrow. Hopefully, if I manage to get on it as soon as this ends. And but yeah, I wanna pretty much by tomorrow is the first night of WrestleMania. Pretty much this weekend is the WrestleMania weekend, and tonight is SmackDown. I tried watching a TV program. I just couldn't I feel like I always miss it. I missed the Hall of Fame. I was kind of upset about that because I want to watch RVD, Eric Bischoff, and Kane's speeches. I watched a little bit of Kane's. But did you get to catch that?
I did not, but
Yeah.
I did see the highlights, and RVD, it's been long overdue. He should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the thing about it, though, this year is that it was a lot more of kind of, stars like William Shatner.
Oh,
yeah. And then even Molly Holly, which she deserves it too, but I think it's because a lot of the legends just because of COVID just didn't want to be a part of it, or now they're in AEW and can't really be a part of it, So
I mean, Chris Jericho is about to have an appearance on Stone Cold's show.
And speaking of that, did you see on Instagram earlier today that he posted a picture of WWE's plane?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's something to look forward to. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, I
you
know.
Never know.
WrestleMania, maybe. Hope. I mean, I'm happy with Jericho's in AEW where he can have his own storylines, but
and he's the only one in AEW for me that I really pay attention to.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like I know Big Show is there, but Big Show is. I mean, sure, I asked for a Shaq versus Show ages ago.
Yeah, but we're about like 10 years past that now.
Way too fast. WrestleMania. When was the first time they faced off? Anyway, it's not really facing off, but
Oh no, it was probably about at least 5 or 10 years ago, and they just were in the same ring together.
I think same ring. They didn't even interact much. Right?
No, they interacted a little bit, and they were supposed to have the match, but it just never materialized.
They never went on with it. And hey, even we might on AEW if that happens, I will definitely catch that match.
Yeah, like, two big dudes moving around at 2 miles an hour.
Yeah,
great.
If it was 10 years ago, it would be a lot more interesting.
Oh, totally.
Big Show, both on their primes, I feel. Maybe not Show's prime, but probably close to his prime as well. Anyway, before we head into the WrestleMania business, I have some few questions. So, first three, the format is pretty much the first simple. It's like pretty much personal experiences and such. And then I have 6 questions that we both came up with. The second half is more the business side. So that'll be interesting to talk about. So let's begin with how long have you been a fan?
Been a fan probably since the day I was born. Since I can remember. And I was such a big fan that my parents, when I was young, wouldn't even let me watch wrestling because they were afraid that I was going to hurt myself or hurt some of my friends. So I would always sneak watching a few minutes of Raw or a few minutes of SmackDown, before they caught me. So definitely been a lifer for sure.
I remember SmackDown was my first show because it was on free TV. No need for cable.
Mm-hmm.
My parents weren't like that, but I had a friend whose family was like that. Like he liked it then, but his parents pretty much prohibited him from watching, so he
Yeah.
just lost interest over time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as for me, like I said, I tried to watch SmackDown. Kind of got tired of SmackDown because it was the only one in the TV.
Well, yeah, and back then it
Yeah,
was the
like,
B show too. It wasn't
yeah.
even, the main show was
Yeah,
Raw.
Raw was the main show. So once I finally got cable, I was like, Raw, Raw, Raw. But it's
Yep.
always on a Monday night. It's on the school night, so I'm always upset because I watch halfway through the show and then I have to go to bed because I'm a good boy. Always listening to parents. Am I right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Back then, yeah.
I know, right? Nowadays, not anymore. Anyway, what would you say is your very first match from the top? Like what the last thing you remember for a first match?
I mean, to be honest with you, I have a vivid memory of when John Cena first became on the scene against Kurt Angle. That's like my biggest vivid memory. I remember the Stone Cold milk truck, incident.
The beer truck.
The Kurt Angle milk truck, excuse me. And him playing the guitar with the tiny cowboy hat.
Oh yes, that was a great
I remember those. Yeah, but that was like real fuzzy memory. But for sure, when John Cena came onto the scene and slapped the taste out of Kurt Angle's mouth,
the iconic,
it was like
ruthless aggression.
I'm here, I'm here. And then he was my favorite wrestler too. Like growing up, with the Doctor of Thugonomics, and he was a heel, but he wasn't really a heel. Everybody
he
loved
just has
him.
A personality.
Then. Yeah, and
like
his rap, like the way he could freestyle rap. I mean, that's not something that WWE has talent wise. So when I heard that, it's like light turned on. Oh my God, I gotta watch this guy. So. That's probably the first real storyline even that I remember fully through, and I think a lot of people are actually probably in the same boat in our generation.
Oh yeah, yeah. My favorite, like growing up, I love just Cena. That's why I watched Raw. John Cena, the main man, the face of the company.
But before he became Super Cena,
Oh no, for me actually. Wait, when is Super Cena? Is that like?
That's later after Ruthless Aggression and when it went into PG.
Okay, so that's when I pretty much stopped. Okay, so for me, first match, the Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio for Dominic. That was the furthest back I can remember. I didn't even remember Cena showing up. But I do remember watching the promo after Royal Rumble. 2005, 2006 when Batista won during the whole...
when they flipped over the ropes?
Yeah. With the best Vince McMahon moment in the
the torn quads.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes, that one. I didn't watch the Royal Rumble itself, but I remember watching the signing of the contracts where Triple H and Ric Flair was in front of Batista, and Batista fucking, clobbered both of them and signed for the heavyweight championship, which that was my very first memory of what a promo is. Back before I know what a promo is.
Right, it was just a guy talking.
Exactly, I always thought it's just two performers, sure, but I never knew. They did such a great job that I didn't even know they were acting at the time. Like nowadays, it's like kind of you can tell, but
that's just because we'll probably get into this later, but that's just because of how strict WWE has gotten on the promos. It used to be they would give an outline and then you just take it from there. And
I heard there's lines now.
Yeah, and there's only maybe a handful of guys like Seth, Roman, Edge, Daniel Bryan. They're the only ones that can really go off the script anymore. Everybody else will get heat backstage if they go off the script, which I just think is stupid.
Let them have their own. I feel like the way that was going now is I've been watching a whole lot of the Monday Night War on Peacock.
Yeah,
it's great. Oh my gosh, it's full of knowledge.
Great documentary.
Great. I'm hooked. And the fact that it feels like nowadays is back where back in early '90s wrestling, where it's very formulaic and not a whole lot of people are connected to wrestlers. To the superstars, yeah, sure. They have their own versions of Hulk Hogan, Bret the Hitman Hart,
Hmm.
um, $1 Million Man, I think, and of course, they have their own. We have the Miz, uh, the Kofi Kingston, Edge, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. We have all these names, but we just like the new talent just feels, I guess, dry. There's no.
And forced too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I want to root for Ricochet or try to at least watch NXT, but I feel like the performance there is just like subpar.
Well, yeah, and I mean with NXT, it's more about the in-ring performances,
That's true.
which last
That's true.
I didn't really watch Takeover last night, but
I
the
saw a
match
little bit.
between Kyle O'Reilly and
Oh,
and
Adam Cole, I think.
Adam Cole was freaking nuts, man. And then the Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross was pretty insane.
I think that was the only one I was interested with
Yeah,
because
so
I
it's
like
just,
Finn Balor.
and I like Karrion Kross. I like, and his woman is just, but yeah, yeah,
um.
for sure, man.
Oh yeah. All right. So, we talked about it now. Favorite wrestler, Dan, or I forgot that we changed this. But this question is for me. Favorite wrestler then and favorite wrestler now. Well, for you, the question changed because you mentioned that before the pre-show, I guess, that your your favorite wrestler didn't change much back then to now.
Hmm.
So, well, I would say this: who's your number one wrestler, and who's your number two wrestler?
The Rated R Superstar is my number one wrestler.
Yes,
Period.
I love.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
there's no going past, and everything that he does is just gold. I mean, on the mic, his facial expressions, and you can believe that he will kick your
Oh
ass.
yeah.
So he's been my favorite since I was a kid. I remember the segment with him and Lita.
The live sex event
Yeah, the live sex event. And I was literally thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna get to see these people have sex on Raw.
on Raw, yeah, live television.
So no, Edge has been my favorite forever, and now, I mean, nowadays, I guess it would be a toss up between Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins would
Okay,
probably be, but
okay.
that I have so many shirts from Seth and Daniel Bryan and Edge, so
Yeah, to be honest,
yeah.
like going back, like jumping back into WWE. Like, sure, I don't get the idea behind Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. But
Hmm.
I feel like if I did watch the product then, when he was first introduced, I feel like I would be a Bryan fan. Same with probably not like I'll probably like Roman Reigns, but then after his push, I'll probably just like dwindle like everyone else. But
Hmm.
I would say then I mentioned it earlier, John Cena, but overall, like, not overall, I guess John Cena overall, but then I really enjoyed Rey Mysterio, Batista, of course
Oh yeah,
Undertaker, and now, like you said, Seth Rollins. I think I don't like his current persona.
me neither, me neither.
I feel like it's kind of dry. I like his corporate persona. That was pretty cool.
That was great. He is a cunning
Though,
heel, and he does it great.
yeah,
And
he's
his
a great heel.
raccoon, he's got the raccoon laugh, and
Hmm.
all that. He's just
Yeah.
perfect for that.
His babyface run, that was
That was
pretty
actually
cool.
really good too.
Hmm.
And that's when it started with the Beast Slayer and his new music, the Burn It Down shit.
Oh yeah, I like it. I love his music.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Beast Slayer or King Slayer? Well, which
It
one?
was it was, I think it was Beast Slayer and then became King Slayer,
After
something
he
like
beat
that.
Triple H,
Brock, or
Brock.
Triple H and Brock.
Oh,
So
okay, okay,
it was both. That's what it was. When he
okay,
beat Brock, it was the Beast Slayer. When he beat Triple H, the King Slayer.
okay, okay.
So yeah.
That's awesome. That's actually pretty
Hmm.
cool. That's badass.
Yeah, right. I
All right,
know.
this is the catching up moment. um, yeah, Seth Rollins. Edge is still favorite, of course favorite. Kofi Kingston. I liked his early work. I kind of want to watch this fight. Was it against Daniel Bryan where when he first won, right?
When he won the title, I don't remember who it was against. I don't think it was against Daniel Bryan because that would have been a face versus face, or maybe it was Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan was a heel for a while, where he was the new Daniel Bryan, and he was kind of
Is it the wooden? Oh no, it wasn't the wooden championship, right?
No, it was the wooden championship.
Oh,
Actually, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that must have been what it was then. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was the match, and it was a great match. And Kofi is really great in the ring, you know. But he was a joke when he was brought in with his fake accent, like he's not even from Jamaica. You know,
it was so upset. Like I was listening to Edge and Christian Pod of Awesomeness, and I was listening to the Kofi Kingston episode, and I just remember Edge was just like, "I'm sorry for doing that to you, man," and he was, and Kofi was like. Yeah, I know it kind of sucks. Like you thought you're finally in with the big leagues, and then all of a sudden you get kicked out. And your spot got taken. I was like, yeah, that kind of hurts. And I remember, not really reading about it, but or watching it, but reading on it back then, where Kofi Kingston got kicked out and Edge won that night. I was like, wait, I read earlier Kofi Kingston was supposed to be here, but.
Right.
But yeah, ultimate opportunist, am I right?
Yep, the rated R superstar.
Exactly.
You're damn right.
He's still the first Money in the Bank winner and cashing it in magnificently.
Right. Well, yeah, and you know what's good about him too is he set the tone for that. You know,
yeah, that's true.
Now it's usually, you know, a heel that gets it and then he cashes it in, you know, in a great opportunity. And if it wasn't for Edge, that was all his idea.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
It didn't come from, if he didn't do it, then who knows? Money in the Bank may have been a one-time thing. You know, you never know.
Yeah, it's always face will having babyface wrestlers taking it as well. Like I think RVD got it and actually cashed in as a regular match. Was pretty cool.
And that's what all the faces have done.
Except for CM Punk, I would say.
Yeah, well, but CM Punk.
Oh wait.
I don't know, dude. I think he's a little full of himself, and he had one of the greatest opening themes ever with Kill Switch Engage, but I didn't get it. Just didn't get it back then. So
anyway, like RVD successfully cashing it in, Baron Corbin or King Corbin failing to. I heard about that recently because I forgot what I was watching. I'm not sure if it was like the history of Money in the Bank or some someone doing a recap, and I just remember hearing it's like, yeah, his push got killed, so he was forced to cash it in and then forcibly lose the match, and I was just like, damn, what did you do? Oh wait, it was the. Stephanie McMahon had a problem with Corbin at the time, I believe.
It's something like that. And he didn't take off the way they say they use
his
the word push.
He
was the one who ended his push because he's bland. You know
I didn't understand Corbin.
His hair was like halfway down his head. It was already receding for a 30-year-old man. You know, there's just. Yeah. He had a lot wrong with him.
Not gonna lie. I like what was it?
No, End of
Days
that's a badass finisher.
Especially if it's against like a lighter opponent, he'll just spin and then just drop them. I was like,
right. And you know cool. The good thing about him too is he was an NFL player, and he's a big dude.
Oh yeah,
so he can do that End of Days to anybody, not just the small guys, and that's what makes a great finishing move is being able to do it to everybody. You know.
I remember watching a video about Raw. He showed up there to take out McIntyre, and I remember he'd use a different move. I guess it's because he's not comfortable.
Maybe. Which move was it? It wasn't the deep six, was it?
I think it's definitely. I don't know. I don't even know what a deep six is. I think it is deep six.
That's his signature move. You know, like they all have a signature and a finisher.
Yeah.
So the deep six is like kind of similar to the End of Days, but not as powerful. You know what I mean?
Is it just like they just swing him?
Yeah, they swing him.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
He showed up, did that, and then pretty much.
Which made no sense with the Bobby Lashley and King Corbin thing. Like, why didn't you just leave the Hurt business together and let them attack Drew McIntyre? You know, it's just.
That is something we're gonna get through when we
Mm-hmm.
get to night one of WrestleMania.
No, I just thought of one question I have for you: is
All right, go for it.
who is your favorite women's wrestler?
Favorite Becky, easy.
Becky.
Yes,
Interesting.
Becky.
Okay.
My top three is Becky, Charlotte, and uh, what's her face? Lita.
Lita. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Everybody loved Lita growing up. I mean, that was Olivia's favorite wrestler growing
Yeah,
up.
I
So
agree. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Charlotte's my number one. She's just
That
so
figure eight is just.
well in everything she does, like the
Oh,
moonsault from the top rope.
I think
The
didn't
just
wasn't she credited as the like the I won't say innovator, but one of the reasons why uh women's wrestling now is a lot better than
yeah. So it was
back then.
it was Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey, and Becky, the
Oh yeah,
four
Bailey too.
horsewomen.
I like
You
Bailey too.
know, yeah. And so
Who was the
they
next one?
rev.
Uh,
It was Sasha, Charlotte, Bailey, and
oh,
Becky
Becky. Okay,
Lynch,
okay.
the four horsewomen. So
Mm-hmm.
they were credited with the evolution of women's wrestling. But in my opinion, I don't like Sasha Banks. She's terrible on the mic. She's not. I can't believe that she's going to kick somebody's ass. Okay,
That's true.
the rest of them, I can believe it, especially since Bailey dropped the hugger gimmick. She can kick someone's ass. Okay. But the thing is Charlotte could kick all their ass. Charlotte could kick any woman's ass in the WWE.
I
Period.
believe that. I
Yeah,
believe it,
I mean,
especially with that with her history. Literally the daughter of the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
and I'm gonna go on a limb. She's already better than her dad was.
Oh yeah. Oh dude.
Yeah,
Hands down.
yeah.
I saw one match and it was with against Asuka in WrestleMania. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
dude, this is
They burned the
good.
house
Oh,
down
yeah.
that night.
I agree. That was a great
Mhm.
match.
Mhm.
And yeah, and that was just me like, hey, I want to play catch up. Let's watch some WrestleManias. And I was like, I just googled best WrestleMania match. One of them was just I was like, ooh, you know,
Yep.
women's wrestling, and I like the fact that they split the the women's championship. It's not just a one big championship for Raw. It's now one for
It's
Raw, one
Raw
for
and SmackDown.
yeah,
They had to
exactly.
do that because the women's talent has gotten so much better. I mean, even Mandy Rose is great. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she's hot and she can wrestle. So
Becky for me, but then again, she's
yeah.
already
No,
redhead.
well, and she was a bare knuckles fighter and grew up homeless. So
Oh wow, I
I
didn't
can
even know that.
believe that she will kick someone's ass. She could probably kick my ass. You know
Oh,
what
I
I mean?
believe that. I
So
believe she
yeah,
can kick my.
yeah,
She
easy,
can.
easy,
She should.
right? You would
She
like
can.
it, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Just Charlotte put me in the figure eight. That'll be fine with me too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Becky for me. You said yours is Charlotte, which is interesting. I got the men. You got the. I like her intro too.
Oh,
It's
dude,
like
it gives me goosebumps,
it's
man.
like a revamped version of Nature Boys,
It's
but
perfect, yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's so perfect, and it's the
Especially,
same.
and then the peacock robes are
Yeah, it's
perfect
so
too.
like the same similar mannerism as her dad, but
hmm
for some reason in my opinion, she just does everything better. Like,
She's just so fluid, and that's part because she was an athlete. She played volleyball, she was a cheerleader. So she already has an athletic background. So
yeah,
and
yeah.
plus she's big, she's taller, which is different.
Oh yeah,
I
oh
mean,
wow, yeah.
you had China. China
But
was a big wrestler,
yeah,
but
buff, big, you know,
too buff. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like
So
no, like I remember just seeing her from afar. And I'm just like, maybe. Then close up, I was like, oh, I
no,
see. I was like, no offense to her, but I see why. There were people who were like, that's a dude,
right.
like that has to
Rest
be a
in
dude.
peace. But yes, she
Yeah.
was very, very odd.
Hmm.
Very odd.
Anyway, continue on. Favorite PPV, as both as a series and as an event. What would you say?
So as a series, as it's gone on, I think that either it's Money in the Bank or Royal Rumble.
Oh yes.
And Royal Rumble to me, out of the big four pay-per-views, is like second to WrestleMania.
Oh
It's the
yeah,
like
yeah.
the second most like anticipated event of the year.
Hmm.
And
I
now
agree
you
with
get
that.
two Royal Rumbles, with so many surprise entrants,
That's true.
but with Money in the Bank, it's great because I didn't like, the COVID Money in the Bank with the climbing of the corporate ladder shit. It's kind
I
of
didn't even know about that.
Yeah, they did it inside the WWE headquarters building, and that's when Otis won, and I guess Asuka won
Oh,
too.
I think I seen like a clip of Otis like holding
Yeah,
it
and
for the
then the very
picture,
next night is when Becky Lynch announced she was pregnant and relinquished the belt to Asuka.
which is
So
well, that's
yeah,
awkward.
but it was actually a really cool scene.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, I saw that one.
it just sucked that there wasn't any fans in attendance. That's
Yeah.
the big problem. But my favorite pay-per-view period is of course the Royal Rumble I attended in 2020.
Oh yeah,
In
I
Houston,
bet.
and
I'm
when Edge
jealous of
came
him.
back, dude, oh my
And wait,
god.
oh wait, no, he won this
No,
year. That's right.
Drew
Drew
won
won.
the
That's
Royal
right because he
Rumble,
kicked off.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and the way they did that was just so beautiful because they had Brock start out and he was just throwing guys out of the
Oh yeah.
ring
Oh,
left and
dude,
right.
like I was just watching that. I was like, God damn, I hate Brock Lesnar, but golly, dude, this.
Well, and and everybody in the stadium, dude, was like, "Oh my god, here we go! He's just gonna throw everybody out of the ring and he's gonna win and retain the title
And
or whatever
then
it is."
Drew fucking
And then
kicked him
Drew
off.
just claymored his ass over the top, and that
Agree.
was like
The
that was
best.
great.
That was great.
And yeah, and then when Edge came back, dude, that pop like was better than the Hardy Boys when they came back from WrestleMania. Like
Oh,
it was
yes.
so loud. I literally was shaking the guy next to me, and I'd never met the guy before. Like I'm like, oh my god. So
Dude, man, one day, my buddies and I have told ourselves that next year we're gonna go to WrestleMania at Arlington, or we'll try to at least.
that's what we're trying to do also.
Yeah, that's
So
gonna be a great one.
we should have a caravan.
Yeah, I know, right? Or what you call it? A convoy.
A convoy, yeah.
Convoy vehicles, yeah.
We can moon each other in the cars like Michael
Exactly.
Scott. Yeah.
Moon each other along the road. People will be like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
It's just so weird. For me, favorite series Royal Rumble. Like you said, so many surprising appearances from all sorts of superstars and celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, apparently there we had Drew Carey one
Yeah.
year. Now I remember I was watching. I was like, "Is that Drew Carey from Whose Line Is It?"
Mm-hmm.
What?
And typically with the celebrities, it's kind of lame, but the way they did it with him and how scared he was of Kane and everybody else was just perfect. It was just perfect.
It's just Drew Carey. It's just it fits his personality and everything. Event. Oh man, okay. I can answer this. Either WrestleMania 21 or WrestleMania I think 24. It's like which one? I think it was 24, but definitely 21 number one because two title changes. One with John Cena being the WWE champion against JBL, who's been a champion for was it almost a year or was it a year?
I think it was close to a year, if not a full year. And great heel work by JBL, man.
Great. I hated him, dude.
But it works because he's a jackass in real life, so it works for him.
I heard
So.
about the stories, yes. And then we had the Batista storyline, and I love Evolution. Evolution to me is one of the, if not the best factions that WWE ever came up with. In fact, no, I lied. Triple H came up with.
Right.
Yes, because I remember watching.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, because I remember watching the documentary on Peacock about Evolution during the Ruthless Aggression, and I just had so much respect for Triple H after watching that because he promised the two guys, "I'm gonna make you guys superstars," and look where they are now. Randy Orton, one of the biggest heels in sports entertainment.
And just one of the most badass dudes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've always loved his moves too, especially the punt, as dangerous as it can be. It fits.
And the RKO, dude, is just great. Like the Evan Bourne RKO where he did the flip off the top rope, and then the Dolph Ziggler one.
I like
movements.
the Seth Rollins one. That is my favorite one.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Followed by Evan Bourne. That one to me is just like timing. Like Seth Rollins, I feel like they could have pulled it off easier, but with Evan Bourne, he has to time that flip.
And you only got one chance.
Oh yeah,
it's live TV. So that was so sick to see, man.
I remember watching that. I was just like, Oh no, one of my favorite underrated super wrestlers just got RKO'd out of nowhere. What?
Yeah, and you thought he was going to beat Orton too,
Oh
because
yeah,
that was his finishing move, and then boom, out of nowhere. That was like the start of the RKO out of nowhere, you know?
yeah. I'm just upset that they didn't do much with him.
Yeah, it's just he was too small, you know?
He was a great high flyer though.
He was a great high flyer, but we had Rey Mysterio, and it's really hard to match up with Rey Mysterio. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
you can believe that he can take down a bigger guy, but with Evan Bourne,
I feel like he
just
could have been similar to Chris Jericho if they
similar.
develop. Yes, exactly. Like if they develop a little bit more instead of being turning him like a complete baby face,
Hmm.
like give him some sort of an attitude or a personality. I feel like that would have worked better for his character.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Anyway,
for sure.
so that's pretty much the first half we're done. You know, that's personal experience, personal opinions. But now it's time to play more of the catch up part.
Okay.
Um, Roman Reigns. What is the big deal? What's the big deal with Roman Reigns and his hilariously stupid push during, I believe, 14, 13, all the way to like, was it 18 or 19?
It was somewhere around there until
Yeah.
he got his I guess it was his first cancer diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the problem with Roman is everybody loved him in the Shield because he was the quiet badass that would literally rip your face off. You
Oh
know,
yeah, he
Seth
does look like a badass.
and Seth was the mouthpiece, and then Dean Ambrose to me
Is the enforcer? I feel like.
overrated and just wanting to kill himself every night. Okay,
Oh, yeah, that's
so
true.
you
He's
know,
kind of extreme.
so yeah,
I feel like
so
he would have been perfect with the ruthless aggression era.
it would have been perfect, but it was just a little bit past. But the Shield
Mm-hmm.
still was one of
They're
the
great.
best factions
Yeah,
ever made, and
I
you
like
know, and
their
the way.
I like their intro, how they go down
Mm-hmm.
the
And
sides
the way Seth turned on them too was just perfect because
with the
you wouldn't have
corporate.
thought it was going to be Seth to turn on him. You know,
Was that
Seth was.
supposed to be Roman originally?
I don't know for
I,
sure. If
I,
anything, I was thinking that I heard that it was supposed to be Dean,
okay.
but he just was too extreme for the PG era.
Yeah.
And that's when it started. And Roman was a badass then because he, like I said, he was the quiet, you know, Pacific Islander that will kick your ass and not
From
care,
the
right?
infamous Samoan dynasty.
Right. And
I'm so
see, he
surprised about
also
that.
didn't have any promo, in my opinion, like he didn't go to promo class enough. You know, like he was never on the mic then. So when he got on his own and they started wanting to push him like Superman, the kids loved him, but the people that bought merch and paid for the tickets hated him. Like they were tired of the whole Super Cena bullshit, you know?
Yeah,
And
that whole Superman punch for me
the
is
Superman
it's
punch, dude,
so
is like
I don't know which one's lamer, Cena's lightning fist or Reigns' Superman punch. Every time I see Superman punch, I just want to gag. I
well,
was like,
and
that
that's
is
the
so
thing, yeah.
cringe.
And with Cena, the five knuckle shuffle was lame as hell too, you
But
know.
it
But
became iconic.
right,
It's
it
part of
did.
his part of his arsenal.
Right, like the people's elbow was for the
Yeah,
Rock, you
exactly.
know. Like I'm gonna run back and forth twice and then stop, lose my momentum, and then drop the elbow, you
Yeah,
know. So, but
exactly. It's
no,
just
you
so
know,
random.
yeah, it's just so weird. But then you know, the thing with Roman is like, oh shit,
Uh
hold
oh.
on,
Oh,
oh
and we got him back. Quickly lost
my
connection. That
bad,
was all
dude.
good. All
Yeah,
good. All good.
yeah. I can't see you, but I guess that
Oh,
doesn't really.
oh no! What happened?
I don't know. I don't see you.
Oh no. Well, I mean, I'm not doing too much other than waving my hands
Cut.
anymore. Cut. Beep. I'll just edit out the beep part. Anyway, yeah, you're talking about the Superman punch. We're talking about
Yeah.
how kind of I just, I'm fine with him using the spear. I feel like he can sell it a lot better, in my opinion. Edge.
Hmm.
Sure, Edge is one of the ideal, but compared to, I heard Rhino is currently the best seller.
Rhino was the best
Yeah,
with the gore. Yeah, that was the first real spear that ever really was seriously like two
Gold.
cars
Yeah,
attacking each other. I mean, Goldberg's was good too, just because it's this big
it,
son of a bitch, you know,
yeah,
that
and
is.
it's one of his like it's literally one of his three moves.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was just like, I thought Goldberg was great because I saw that whole Brock thing, beating him in 81 seconds. I was like, whoa, that's awesome. Is this Goldberg? Holy shit! And
Yeah.
then I learned that he literally does all those moves all the way
Yeah,
since
it's just
WCW.
because he's so old now, and I mean he's still a badass, but he
And
he
apparently
just
people
can't
love it.
do it,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, and he was one of my favorites in WCW growing up, and his entrance still to this day just gives me goosebumps.
Dude,
It's
his introduction in WWE. Oh
hmm
my gosh, I was like, okay.
and then the sparks, and he inhales the smoke and blows it out.
Okay,
It's like,
so I
man,
was right. He does inhale the smoke or the
yeah,
spark.
he does, he
Because I
does.
remember one time he just breathed out like a huge puff, like he just took a vape and tossed it real quick behind him. I was like, this guy just straight up inhaled
Yeah,
the
he
smoke.
inhaled fireworks. Yeah,
Yeah,
like.
exactly. It was like he ate fire.
And
I was just
that's
like, oh, okay.
that's he's in WWE they have attractions, and then there's the wrestler and performers, and he was an attraction, and he still is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
true.
like Brock. Brock can go for 45 minutes. I mean, Brock could go for like probably an hour and a half.
Yeah, he
You
has that
know,
experience. As for Goldberg,
Ye-
I definitely kudos to Goldberg for actually getting some more wrestling experience because I saw that that match with William Regal. Oh my god, that was so bad to watch. He is stuttering left and right, but now he looks fluid for like
Mhm.
like for a big guy. But yeah,
Yeah.
so Spears and Roman Reigns, back to Roman Reigns, kind of
Mhm.
sidetracked to the WCW era with Goldberg. But yeah, I feel like if they add something, I feel like a power bomb like would be great with
Well,
Reigns.
yeah, and like, cause he used to do the Shield Bomb,
Yeah, the shield bomb. Oh, dude, I
So
love the shield bomb.
yeah, so you can do that with the Usos, or even one Uso. He
Oh,
could do that.
yeah, I'm surprised they haven't used it for against Edge or Bryan this entire time.
But
Or
maybe they just
Owens.
don't want to reuse it. I don't. They reuse so much shit. I don't know
That's
why they
true.
wouldn't reuse it.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
maybe
Giving
they
him.
want to leave that in the past with the Shield. Maybe I
That's
don't
true.
know.
I feel
So
like the Superman punch should be a setup move, a signature setup move, much like
exactly.
how the Rock's spine buster becomes the people's elbow,
Hmm.
or if the rock bottom to the people's elbow and such. I feel like it could potential lead to a good either a power bomb or setup for the spear or
Or
vice
yeah, the
versa.
setup for the spear would be perfect because I mean, if you do the Superman punch, you stun the guy.
Yeah,
He
then
goes to the corner and then just runs his ass over. That's perfect. That's all
yeah,
you
yeah,
need.
exactly.
You know.
Yeah,
So
we're riding WWE's main guy.
yeah, yeah,
We're the creative team.
yeah. Call us, Vince. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know,
From
dude.
your fucking coffin. Yeah,
Actually,
call
I
us.
have this one question. I forgot about this one question. I'm gonna insert it real quick since you have more experience in terms of seeing more different variety of characters. My
Mhm.
question is, how would you feel if you see or how would you feel if you have a character that can copy people's moves? Like let's say you go in, but you're for one night you're using Batista's moves.
So like the copycat Yu-Gi-Oh card,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the following week you use if you can Rey Mysterio's moves, then the Undertaker, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. You think that could attract people?
It did. Do you remember Eugene? The guy that had like a mental problem, and
Oh
he wore like the
yes,
boxer jacket and like had the long curly hair.
like the frizzy hair and then
Yeah, his name is Nick Dinsmore. And anyways, did that. That's what he did. Is like he would every Monday he would have a different finishing move, different setup moves, and he would always connect to one of the faces and basically use their moves to defeat a heel that
okay.
nobody ever thought he would win. And it worked so great then that I think that's one thing that they should reuse, in my opinion, because it would work great. And
Did
you've got so much variety,
oh yeah, from legends, like let's say this one night he used Hulk Hogan or Macho Man.
Yeah, the leg drop, you know,
then all of a
yeah.
sudden the following week he uses Brock Lesnar. You know, if that character's ballsy enough, you know, on WrestleMania, he uses multiple superstars moves like Batista's power bomb, Triple H's pedigree, the spear. You know, I feel like it could probably attract, but
you know, yeah,
I feel like
and
with
you know,
that, it'll work better as a heel.
Well, see, and I'm thinking that the Fiend would be the perfect person to do that, you know, because you know, he melts into all these different characters.
That's
you know,
true.
he can get in your head.
That's true.
And then he could use the same moves against, like, say he's facing Randy this weekend in WrestleMania. You know, if he uses his moves, then the next week he uses whoever he's facing's moves. You know, that would be perfect because, you know, he's the Fiend. So
I'm not talking about like a mirror set of moves. More like every week is like a different week. But I like that. Like that's my follow-up questions. Like a character that copies his opponent's moves if they can. So let's say, like you said, the Fiend. This week, Randy Orton. Next week, let's say Sheamus.
Oh yeah, with the white noise or the 10 beats of the Bodhrán, you know,
I was
stuff
thinking
like
of High
that.
Cross, but that was banned.
yeah. Well, I can see why.
Yeah, but I mean WWE banned it, but not. I think TNA uses it still.
Well, TNA uses anything because they need viewers. That's
why
they use the Canadian Destroyer, which I think is freaking crazy, but also dangerous as all hell. So,
as long as there's no more muscle busters, you know, some more.
No,
dude, that I saw that, I was like, thank God they banned that move. That is so dangerous. Poor guy. Was his name Tyson Kidd, right?
Tyson Kidd, yes.
Yeah, poor guy, dude. Can't be a wrestler anymore. He can't do his passion anymore.
I mean, he was a mid-card guy, but he was very good in the ring, and it just it sucks for anybody, any of that to happen to anybody.
Almost dying for, you know, just because of one dangerous move. But anyway, yeah, that. So you say that a mere like a how would you call that character? Like someone who copies his opponent's move, and someone who just copies a general like anyone's moves.
I mean, I just call it copycat's perfect.
That's true.
You know,
that's true. Like as a heel, he can do the copycat thing where he copies the enemy's moves, but as a face, he can copy anyone to try to connect with the audience. You know.
Right, and another thing that I thought about after we talked about the Fiend is, he could take the moves from each wrestler he defeats, right?
That's a good idea.
So that's like true. say he beats Randy Orton, he gets the RKO or the punt.
I was going to say the punt is probably more fitting.
Or the what's it called, the rope drape DDT where he puts the legs on
yeah, that's true. That's a good.
Yeah, so and then he could develop his own moveset from the people he's defeated, which would be perfect for the Fiend.
Yeah, like you say, he's like a combination of his Bray Wyatt's personas, Anyway, all right, back to our list of questions. Who do you think is the most overrated superstar and wrestler? And then who would you say is the most underrated superstar and wrestler? I don't know how much of a difference between a superstar and a wrestler is, but I'm just giving.
I consider them the same, really. Yeah. I mean, I use both terms. WWE doesn't want to use wrestler. You're a superstar, but
and that is weird. Same with the title match thing.
Yeah,
where Braun Strowman got in trouble. I heard about that story. I was like, oh man, Vince, come on! It's a simple mistake.
There's my underrated wrestler is Braun Strowman.
Oh, poor guy.
And just not use. He's not the Big Show, man. Like, this dude is yoked. Like, he could kill anybody. I think he could kill Brock Lesnar if he wanted to. That dude is sick.
And we're getting the stupid storyline with fucking Shane McMahon. Oh my god, I couldn't watch
every fucking year. He's got to show up.
I just couldn't watch it. I was like, what is this terrible promo that Shane is putting?
I know, and I almost think that with the Shane thing is, I think you know who Lars Sullivan is, right?
I may have heard the name, but never really.
Well, a quick background is he was like another monster heel that they were developing in NXT, and
Wait,
I
okay.
think I think truthfully that this story between Shane and Braun was meant for Lars Sullivan, and he got released because he made a bunch of rude comments on 4chan and was
Uh,
part of a bunch of just
yeesh.
things that we don't need to talk about because he's a terrible human being. But you know, I think that that's just a recycled story because before Lars was released, he was talking about how he's becoming the bully now, and everybody used to call him stupid, this, that, and the other. No one's
Uh,
ever called Braun Strowman stupid because
oh
he's
yeah,
not. Like
yeah.
he's a big guy, but he's not dumb, and he's
Mm.
proven that throughout his years. But yeah, he's my criminally underused wrestler. Like he should be at the top of the mountain. Like in
Okay,
my
here's my
opinion.
question. What do you think about his intro music? I know a lot of people might not like that train. Actually, I don't understand the whole the Braun Express where he runs
Because
around.
he's a fucking train, dude. He's so huge. Like
That's
he's a
true.
train. So you ain't gonna stop a train,
That's true. That's true.
But
I
his intro is a little kiddish for me. The screaming broad, is
That's
just
true.
it's a little
It feels like early '90s sort of thing.
yeah, exactly. Which some people like the nostalgia, but for me, I think he would be better off coming out with like some serious like deathcore, like hardcore
That's
music.
true. I feel like he'll be great as a heel.
Well, and see, that's the thing is they're trying to make him Big Show 2.0, where every week he's almost switching sides. He's
Yeah.
like 1 week he's a heel, 1 week he's a babyface. Like pick one.
I feel like he'll
So
just work better as a heel. With that
yeah,
size, yeah, definitely a heel.
or yeah, he could just do both. I think because
Like just pick a side. Just pick a
yeah,
side. Make
whichever one he
him. Yeah,
chooses. Yeah,
exactly. But I feel like it's just being a heel is more fitting for him, because I mean, ever since the Wyatt family disbanded, I feel like he's been a face most of the time, right?
I mean,
Relatively.
yeah, but for the most part, and even when he's a heel, he's like kind of like the Roman part, where like he's the badass that you love.
Hmm.
Like he's like a likable heel just because you like what he's doing.
That's true.
I mean, he may be destroying Kevin Owens or something like that, but he can destroy him. So it's
Yeah,
believable. So it's
that's
hard to
true.
believe that he's a bad guy. He's just a
Hmm.
big monster that destroys everything in his path, which is awesome.
Okay, who would you say is the most overrated
In the
superstar?
eyes of the fans, the most overrated is got to be Cesaro. I mean, I think he's great in the ring, but his mic skills suck. His mic
Not
skills
gonna
are
lie,
terrible.
I haven't seen one. I mean, I like his spinning move. That was
Hmm
pretty cool, pretty new. But yeah, I can see why you don't like his. I don't think he has mic skill. I feel like a lot of superstars nowadays don't really have mic skills. Becky has one. Seth has one. Daniel has one, and
hmm
I don't even like him. Roman, Paul Heyman has one, but then again, it's Paul Heyman. He always has one. But yeah,
Right, and what's funny though is now Roman doesn't need Paul Heyman, in
I
my
know
opinion,
he keeps talking.
because
Like,
he
yeah,
and now he's the badass, and he doesn't have much to say. When he talks, you listen. It's like Jake Roberts back in the day. He
yeah.
just had to whisper in the camera, and you would listen to what he had to say.
I feel
So
I feel like if they are gonna use Paul Heyman for uh for Roman, I feel like if Roman stayed as like that quiet badass, it would
mhm.
have worked. But I feel like that would be similar to Brock. But then again, Brock is like the quiet, just the angry beast. But
Yeah, and an
what
MMA fighter.
exactly?
So
So
he doesn't need to talk.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I feel like that will be a better way to talk like to utilize Paul Heyman.
hmm
But for me, underrated Evan Bourne. Like I said, I hear he's in AEW. I haven't really looked into it. But yeah, such a wasted superstar. But like you said, combating against Rey Mysterio is
It's
just
tough.
yeah, it's gotta be tough. But I feel
hmm
like he could have put up a match against like not a match more like compete in terms of connection with Rey Mysterio or Chris Jericho.
hmm
Um, Overrated. I haven't really watched, but I guess Daniel Bryan. Like I always said, whether here earlier or on Facebook whenever I post something, whenever I'm ranting about him. It's just that I was never I never really connected with his character then because I stopped watching during the PG era.
Right.
And he was what, 14? 2013, 2014? Or was it much earlier?
It was whenever the first season of NXT, when it was the reality show when he came aboard. So it may have even been before then.
Okay.
But it was around. It was Nexus, the Nexus time.
Oh, so 2011, 2012 then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, so Wade Barrett. Okay, dude.
He's great. Like I like.
I never really watched other than
I've
that
got
one.
Some bad news for you. You know, like.
Yeah, that's true. I should really like watch like certain days. I should just like sit down, watch. I wish like Peacock has like a way I can just look up a character, and just watch, just a match, not even like a full show. Because if I do that, they give me the full show, and I don't want to just like scroll through. I just want to.
They don't have the collections like they did on WWE Network.
Maybe I just used it to watch Monday Night Raw at the moment. Oh, Monday Night War at the moment. So I'm not quite sure. But yeah, Daniel Bryan. I feel, but like I said earlier, I feel like if I did watch the product then, I feel like I could actually like Daniel. I'll be a Daniel Bryan fan at the moment.
I can tell you, if you watch like the first season of NXT when it was a reality show, you will become a fan of Daniel Bryan like instantly, because he was feuding with The Miz. Like The Miz was his superstar teacher, and The Miz knew that Daniel Bryan was better than him and was trying to hold him down the whole time.
Yeah.
And he just, Daniel Bryan has that everyman factor also. That's where, true. Like, everybody can relate to him.
Yeah, he's not that big, muscular guy.
Right, exactly.
He's just like, he has the talent, but not the build. It's
not the build.
Pretty much like, pretty much the idea of NXT, pretty much. Like, if NXT becomes a person, it will be Daniel Bryan.
Pretty much.
Anyway. Here's my last question before the WrestleMania cards. Favorite, who would you say is the most favorite superstar and most hated superstar?
Like in my opinion, or like in the fans' opinion?
I guess both, but let's hear your personal opinion. Because I don't have one, because I stopped watching, so I can't really say much. When it comes to hated or
it's
favorite.
Hard for me because I don't really hate any of the wrestlers like I did when I was a kid. Like, because I see now, it's hard to really nowadays. I don't even think there's really face and heels. It's kind of just what your perspective is as a fan.
Yeah.
So when it comes to hated, I'm trying to think back. I hated Chris Jericho for a while when I was a kid, just because he had that smug, mentality when he was World Heavyweight Champion.
That's true.
I hated him. I hated Kane too, because he was scary as all hell when I was a kid. Now he's the mayor of Knox, Tennessee.
I found out. I was like, what? That kind of ruined Kane for me. But okay, I gotta remember it's a superstar version of person. It's kind of awesome.
And another one that I don't get, this is taking it way back, is Randy Savage. Like, I didn't get that. His voice, he was a dick behind the scenes, was like, I apparently like slept with Stephanie McMahon before she was of age. Like, he just, so like, I don't get him. Like, God rest his soul, but he just wasn't, he never did it for me. And I've watched a lot of his stuff, with Hulk Hogan and Miss Elizabeth and all that shit. I never got him. Okay. I really did hate him. So
okay, what would you say? What about the WWE Universe? Who do you say would be the number one favorite and hated?
Right now, I would say the number one favorite. Shoot, dude, that's tough, man.
Maybe Daniel Bryan?
Maybe Daniel Bryan is up, or Drew McIntyre, because he is.
Oh yeah.
Great, and he's a good face. He's a good heel, but I think he's a better face because he defies the odds all the time. Even though he's a big dude, it's always like 2 or 3 guys trying to attack him, and he always comes out on top for the most part.
That's true.
even Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are high up there, because of the New Day and that kids love them,
Oh yeah.
So
We'll just say Bobby Lashley
I
because
love Bobby.
I mean, I love Bobby.
Yeah.
Long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
Long time.
Too
coming.
long.
Yes. Too long. But I did love him in ECW. I feel like
hell yeah, dude. And then the whole thing with Donald Trump and Vince McMahon when he was Donald Trump's guy.
Yeah,
he was great, man.
Oh,
he was great.
That entire Battle of the Billionaires was the reason why I loved. I think it was 24. It was either 23 or 24.
It was somewhere around there, yeah.
And I was just like, okay, this is such a weird concept, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's like Umaga, another part of the Samoan.
Oh, man.
I didn't even know
Too young.
Oh, yeah, that's so true. May God rest his soul. Who'd you say is the most hated in the WWE universe? I feel like at the
Brock Lesnar.
Is it because
I guarantee?
Is it because his entire run?
Yeah,
like
and because
he came back.
Yeah, and he just ran through everybody, squashed everybody. I think that he's probably one of the most hated, or even Sami Zayn, maybe because he's just so good at being a dickhead.
Oh, dude, I hate his storyline at the moment.
Yeah, but
that's the point. That's the point.
Exactly, and he's a little.
He's good.
I think he's a little bit overrated though. Like he was an indie darling. Is it Generico, the guy with the mask? And Kevin Owens does it for me way more than Sami Zayn. I like KO too. I respect him.
KO just has way too many signature moves.
And why did they give him the stunner? Like, stunner? Why?
Oh yeah, that's true. I remember I watched clips of Kevin Owens, and I just saw him use the super kick. I was like, okay, it could be his setup finisher or setup signature. And then pedigree. I was like, okay. There was a storyline where Triple H handed him the belt, and then the stunner. I was like, how many moves does this guy have?
And don't forget the pop-up power bomb either. That's his main one.
Yeah, that's right. He's his main finisher too.
Mm-hmm.
So he has way too many moves. I mean, he sells. Maybe not so much. I want to say not so much on the super kick, but his stunner's pretty okay. I like the power bomb.
Me too. And then
like
the cannonball thing too, where he puts him in the corner and does the flip onto him. I like that one too.
Oh, okay.
Because he's a big dude.
Yeah, and he can do that. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's super athletic. It's like if I were to wrestle, I would be Kevin Owens. You know what I mean? So I relate to him, and he's great on the mic. I mean, he puts so much emotion into everything. You believe this guy.
His storyline with Sami Zayn at the moment is good. I was like, wow, it's actually.
It is good, but they need to stop bringing them together because they've had so many feuds over the years, dude. They were best, because.
Oh yeah, they were teammates. That's right.
Yeah, and especially before they came to WWE and were in the Indies, in Ring of Honor and all that, they've been wrestling against each other for 20 years. It's. Time to move on.
I'm going to pause it right here. I really got to go. Intermission time. Beep.
All right, man.
3, 2, 1. All right. I have the actual thing, but it's in the theater room, but it's okay. Anyway. As you were saying, before I had to use the restroom like a noob and forgot to do it before. We're talking about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And how in the Ring of Honor... they were pitted. I didn't even know about Ring of Honor. Speaking of which, I ever since who was it that I first listened to? I think it was in Edge and Christian's podcast where they started mentioning Ring of Honor. Was it?
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah,
it's either that or one of the documentaries in Peacock, and I was like, Ring of Honor. I've never heard of that show or that that company or show, whatever. And apparently a lot of them came from Ring of Honor.
CM Punk came from Ring of Honor.
CM Punk. Paul Heyman worked for Ring of Honor. Daniel Bryan, I believe.
American Dragon, yep.
Okay. Like you said, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I believe Seth Rollins as well.
Yes, Tyler, when he was Tyler Black.
Oh, yes, Tyler Black. Yes.
Yeah, and also, too, fuck. Who was I just thinking? Oh yeah, Adam Cole was like the shit on Ring of Honor.
Oh really?
So,
I didn't.
mm-hmm.
I feel like he has the potential to be in the main roster.
He gives me Shawn Michaels vibes. Is what he gives me.
I feel like they're trying to push that on Dolph though, or prior. Then back
they
then,
used to, yeah, but now he's just a comedian.
The pants and everything. I liked his run with Drew though. I feel like that was a good run.
It should have been me. It should have been me.
Yeah, towards the end, it kind of fell. But during their tag team, the Claymore into a zigzag, I thought that was cool. Yeah. Even though they just need the Claymore.
Right.
They just need one, but they had to use both. But, I mean, it was still a pretty cool setup. But, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the 6 questions. Like I said, the first 3, just to recap, first 3 is just for, like, personal for us, for both of us. You've been a long time fan of wrestling. For me, it was around 2005. Well, I watched a little bit of wrestling when I was in the Philippines, but it wasn't until 2006 when I started watching SmackDown every Friday night. And it's great because Friday night, following night is Saturday. We don't have school.
Exactly.
And then the second half of those questions is pretty much me playing catch up, and getting to know the superstars and why. So Roman Reigns has a move called Superman Punch.
Also, where's DC copyright infringement?
Dude, I was surprised about that. I was like, what? Did I hear that right? A Superman Punch?
Yep.
There's that's where I when I first watched, I thought that was where the Super Roman is coming in because of the Superman Punch.
Yeah.
But and now we're on to the WrestleMania cards. I don't have my notes because I only have one monitor. I could probably pull it up here on my phone. But WrestleMania. How many WrestleManias have you seen?
Really, I didn't get to see any of the WrestleManias until WWE Network. My parents would never shell out $60 for a fucking pay-per-view.
True.
So. Yep. But I've gone back. I mean, I've probably watched every WrestleMania at least once, but I don't remember all the tidbits.
Yeah, that's true.
But this year, I mean, last year I thought WrestleMania was really good, even though it was like the same 2-night shit with no fans. It was still really well done.
How long have they been doing the 2 nights WrestleMania?
Just since last year, because of COVID, they did it that way, and then I guess they have so many damn matches this year that they have to do 2 nights. So
which is surprising for me, not gonna lie, because back then it's always 1 night.
Right, but also back then too, most of the time they just had like one set of titles for each group. They had like the WWE or the heavyweight championship. They had one women's title.
That's true.
And then, they had the 2 tag titles for a while, but they didn't have as much now. And also, too, the roster is probably like, twice as big now as it was back then?
True, yeah.
So they kind of have to now. Even before COVID, I think the 2 nights would have been a good idea.
Yeah. So I got my your notes anyway.
Woo!
So I can keep up now. So, last final question about WrestleMania. Best WrestleMania, in your opinion?
It has to be. Wasn't it WrestleMania 2000 when they were in Houston?
Oh,
if I remember right.
Good question. Wait, is that the who was Undertaker fighting?
Mankind.
Oh,
that's the one I'm thinking of. Is the one where he threw Mankind off the cell, like the first Hell in a Cell match or whatever, or the second one, whichever one it was. I'm pretty sure that was a WrestleMania match. But yeah, I mean, and then also too, when I think it was WrestleMania 33 when Seth cashed in on Brock.
31. I remember 31.
Yeah, that one was
good.
That was great.
That was
all
good.
Around great show.
I only watched that last bit when Roman cashed it in. That was a good idea, turning it into a triple threat and targeting, just one already used up wrestler. And by used up, I mean they've been wrestling for a while, so they're tired at that point.
Well, and that's my favorite thing when WWE actually uses some intelligence and intellect. When you can see how that works. You know, a lot of WWE is just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. You know,
Yeah.
that was just pure intellect, and it's something Seth would have done. You
Yeah.
know,
And
so
it
it
works.
was just
I
perfect.
not gonna, every time I see it, I like Seth's little leg thing when he's celebrating because he looks like a
Mhm.
fucking paper mache. I was just like, that's hilarious. I don't know why I find that.
Right?
I don't know
Yeah.
why I'm so amused by his little hops. You know.
It's funny because also too him raising the title with all the fireworks was my screensaver on my phone for like 3
I was
years.
about to say, not
So
gonna lie, I love the background. It
hmm
was nice.
very well done. Very well done.
Worst. What is the worst WrestleMania? Would you say? I
It's
heard.
either got to be WrestleMania X7, I guess is what it's called, or WrestleMania 3. Those were terrible.
Which one's the X7? Is
That
that?
was 17, so that was shit, dude. Somewhere in the 90s, but it was when they had a triple the battle of the McMahons where Shane
Oh,
had
Shane
one
ver.
wrestler, you know,
Oh
Vince had
yeah, okay.
another,
Vince has The Rock.
and then
Shane
even
has.
Linda was part of
Yeah,
that.
Linda
Yeah,
has Stone Cold, I believe. Maybe either
something
him or
like that.
Mankind. I know Stephanie has Triple H, and
Mhm.
then whoever's left went to Shane or
Mhm.
Linda. But yeah,
Yeah.
uh, for me, man, which was the one where what was it 30 when Goldberg and oh no not that one. Goldberg and Undertaker fought. I think that was like the worst Undertaker WrestleMania ever. That was
Yeah.
rough. And plus,
Well, and that's another terrible WrestleMania when they ended the streak. Like that was so fucking
no, that was
dumb.
with Goldberg. But I think 33 was when they ended the streak
Yeah, with
with
what's his
Brock.
face with Brock, which was just
I feel like if they really want, like, I feel like if they really wanted to push Roman, they should have ended it with Roman.
yeah. I mean, I could see that.
Because Brock is already, like a lot of people said. Oh, bump my mic. Brock was already annihilating everyone.
Hmm.
He is the beast. Everyone knows that.
Hmm.
And defeating the Undertaker didn't really do anything. You know,
No, it didn't do shit for him.
yeah, everyone knows that he's already a dominant a dominant force.
Hmm.
You know, so that's unfortunate. I feel like a younger talent would have worked a lot better. But someone who
Or even
could.
Kane, even Kane would have been perfect. You know, his brother ending
That's
his
true.
streak. You know, and then they both
Finally,
retire or some
oh,
shit.
yeah,
You
that's true.
know,
That's true. Ending it
so.
there, you know,
Hmm.
I feel like that would have been a perfect ending for a WrestleMania story.
Oh yeah, totally.
Especially when they fought twice already. If
Yeah,
you know,
something like that.
if Shawn Michaels can't end it, if Triple H can end it, then you know, like you said, Kane, probably a good idea too. You know,
Yeah, and then they
because
could have, you know, had him throw him in the fire. They both could have gotten engulfed in flames, and then that was it for him. Kane could have went on to be mayor. Taker could have
exactly,
Taker
without
could come back down here to Houston and live the rest of his life and not be
exactly.
two hip replacements in. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
And Kane not coming back to wrestling, bull
yeah,
jump. I was like, oh my
right.
god, that
Or
was.
corporate Kane, you know,
Oh my
without the mask.
god,
Like, come
dude.
on.
Corporate. I remember hearing about corporate Kane. I was like, please tell me this is in early 90s. Please tell me it's in the early 90s.
No,
Early
that's
2010s. I was like,
yep.
it's with
Some of the
Triple
dumbest shit I've ever
H
seen.
and
Yeah,
everything. I mean, I like the idea of corporate, but corporate Kane just
makes sense.
like why?
Yeah, I
Well,
don't get it either.
yeah. Anyway, enough of the history. Let's jump on to the WrestleMania.
Let's do
Night
it.
1. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, which they also changed the main event for night one. It's now going to be Sasha Banks versus Bianca
Oh
Belair as the main
yeah,
event.
okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because I read that earlier today. I was like, oh, I was stupid. I'm stupid and didn't realize that they were talking about main event. I thought it was gonna be like opening act, but then again, that's way too big for an opening act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but night 1, the
Mm-hmm.
supposed main event, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. I would say Bobby Lashley should retain. Hardcore.
Absolutely, 100%.
Have him
You
dominate
yeah,
WWE for at least 6 or for a couple months, maybe at the minimum.
Well, yeah, at least until maybe like SummerSlam, I think he should hold on to the title for sure. At least until SummerSlam.
I agree.
And you never know what could happen during that match. I mean, you could, Brock could come back at the end, destroy them, and then you get Bobby Lashley versus Brock.
Finally,
yeah, which is what I want to
years.
see. Yeah, I want to see that shit because Bobby Lashley's in the best. He's doing the best work of his career in any promotion, TNA, WWE, whatever. He's doing the best right now. And people say that's because of MVP, but
I would say this. Lashley has no mic skills.
No, he doesn't. And he's also has alopecia, so has no hair, so it's hard for him to wrestle long matches because of the sweat that gets in his eyes.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I feel like having no hair, fits.
It fits him. No, it fits him. But it's like,
like you said, the sweat. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, MVP is the perfect mic for Lashley. Kind of sucks the Hurt Business is done or disbanded for time being.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
No one does. No one does.
Like, you had a new Nation of Domination, and you want to just run it through. You have your own
evolution. You have your own dominant faction, and this guy is gone. Then Shelton.
Thanks, Vince. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
thanks, Vince.
Poor Shelton. Poor Shelton.
Hey, at least Shelton got a good 6 months of paychecks because he wasn't on TV since he re-signed with WWE years ago.
True.
So
what was it, 2018, 2019?
Something like that. And then Cedric Alexander is trash, in my opinion. So he at least had something to do.
I was about to say, I feel like they should have kicked off Cedric, replaced him with someone better.
They could have done a Ricochet type heel turn thing, that would have fit perfectly.
Yes.
So.
And he's a high flyer, something that the Hurt Business doesn't really have.
Mm-hmm.
You have the brute force, Lashley, the Mike with MVP, and then Shelton Benjamin, the all-around guy.
Yeah.
I feel like. But yeah, I agree. Kick Cedric, keep Shelton, which is... I was fine when I heard about Cedric getting the Hurt Locker, aka the master. What was it? The Master Lock.
The Master Lock or Full Nelson.
Yeah. Popularized by Chris Masters. But yeah, that kind of sucks that the Hurt Business. I feel like it could have worked with the WrestleMania match. They show up, and then just while this referee's distract, pretty much dominate or something. Oh.
I agree.
What would you say? Who would you say should be part of the Hurt Business? I know that they're not really disbanded. They just kicked out Cedric and Shelton, and a lot of people thought King Corbin was gonna join. I hope not.
I mean,
it works. I don't want.
They need to take the King moniker off of Baron Corbin because it's been 2 years since he won King in the Ring. He's not the King anymore. Okay, so just Baron Corbin, or Corbin, since they like to take first names away nowadays.
Yeah.
But I think even if they didn't give the stupid accent to Apollo Crews, I think Apollo Crews would have been great for the Hurt Business.
That's a good,
good
one.
And he could have supplanted Shelton Benjamin as the all around guy, because he can do everything. And then I think Ricochet would be a great addition as well,
Yeah.
But that's just.
How would you feel if one of the New Day crew?
That would be pretty dope because I've been waiting for Xavier Woods to turn on Kofi because I don't see a way where Kofi becomes the heel.
That's true.
I just
Everyone's
don't see it.
Big E cannot. Well, didn't Big E first introduction was a heel?
Yes, he was with Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, he's just been. They tried the heel version of a New Day, I believe. I remember
it didn't really work.
Yeah. I feel like if I remember correctly, Kofi was saying that a New Day was supposed to be a heel faction originally.
It was,
but then Vince changed it to a face faction.
Yeah, just because of the reaction of the fans. The fans weren't going to boo them.
Yeah,
they just weren't going to boo them.
That's true. They tried. They tried to be a heel, but everyone's still cheering for them. So that's
So I could see where Xavier Woods would turn on him, and then join the Hurt Business.
Which is also under our list too, which we'll talk about more later.
We will. But yeah, there's a lot of good additions to the Hurt Business. I mean,
I hope they did bring more people in.
I hope they do too. And it does suck though, because like if we're being honest here, WWE is racist, so they're kind of you have to kind of pick, the African American wrestlers. Unfortunately, it's just how it is. That's what Vince is gonna do. So
true. He's old fashioned, straight up.
Yeah,
way too old, especially
Civil War era. Yeah, old fashioned.
Anyway, on to the next one. The proposed main event of WrestleMania 37 Night 1. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the Women's Championship. Or, is it WWE or is it just SmackDown?
It's a SmackDown, right? Yeah, okay. It's a SmackDown one. Yeah.
Okay, who do you say? Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree with what you said here, actually.
Yeah, Bianca Belair has to win. And you know something? You might like this. I'm thinking that because they moved it to the main event, that Miss Becky Lynch is going to come back at some point.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I saw that this morning that she's bound to come back.
And she would be on SmackDown because that's the A show now, and they want all the big personalities, and her husband's on there too. Oh, yeah, true.
That's true.
Have
them travel at the same time. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you can't not have Belair go over. I mean, you can't. I don't really like the way she is on the mic, but she is very close to Charlotte when it comes in the ring, and she's so athletic. And Sasha Banks, I've never been high on her. I think that she was like the cast off black sheep of the Four Horsewomen. She's not that great in the ring. She's just blech, in my opinion. So.
Yeah.
There's no way. And like I said, too, in the notes is that Sasha's 0-5 at Mania. So
that's true. You did say, yeah, that's right.
I don't see her going 1-5. I see her continuing the streak and losing again.
She's going to be the opposite of The Undertaker.
Yeah, there you go.
Going 21, she'll have 2 wins and 20. Well, how many? 21 losses? 21?
Something like that. Yeah, 2-21. Yeah, that sounds about right. But you never know.
Yeah, that's true. Here's my second question in this match. Do you think they're actually going to turn Sasha into a heel? I hope not, because I feel like this could be a good sort of a passing down the torch in a way.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, I hope they don't really make her a full heel turn. Sure, the lead up, she'll act like a heel. But, you were just like,
see, the only thing that I see that is if they do a full turn is if Becky comes back, you have the whole embrace of, Sasha, Becky are best friends, and then she turns on Becky. You know what I mean? That's what I see if that happens. Or she loses the match, goes to shake Bianca's hand, hug her, and then puts her in the bank statement or whatever it is,
Yeah.
So
or do some moves on her then.
And I do I don't like Sasha Banks, but she's better as a heel anyways, in my opinion. So because she's the legit boss, it's just her attitude speaks heel, just like Bayley's does nowadays.
Really?
So
I mean,
yeah,
I like Bayley. She's hot.
Well, no, she's definitely up there. But I'm glad they took the hugger gimmick away from her, because if they tried to do the hugger gimmick and then she turns heel, it was not going to work.
That's not gonna work.
I like the way
straight up of a face idea.
Yeah, exactly. So I like the way that they've done her. She just hasn't had as much work in the ring lately, I guess you could say. So that's another thing that they're saying, that maybe they'll have some sort of what's it called, talk show, like Bayley's talk show, Ding Dong Hello or whatever it is.
Oh.
And that's when Becky will come back. That's what the big rumor is, that Becky's going to come back this weekend.
And so she can still have her face turn. Then when she does that, that's when the heel comes in, and that can set up Becky versus Sasha, which could work. I mean, who knows?
Or Becky versus Bianca. That would be great too. Vince, that's fresh,
Yeah,
Vince, that's fresh. So we're ready. We're ready.
We'll write your characters for you a lot better. Maybe I'll be interested in watching it.
Yeah, right.
I tried. I tried, dude. But then again, I tried to watch Raw. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, well, Raw was boring as hell this week,
I
so I
bet.
tried to watch it too with the little time I had, and
Hmm.
I
I
rather
bet.
I'd rather go on Bleacher Report or Cage Side Seats and just read the recap, you
And
know.
that's
So,
what I do while I'm at work during
mhm.
lunchtime, or if I'm using the company's time to take a shit. TMI, but yes, I'll just go on Facebook news and first thing I'll see, because I've been into wrestling so much, so almost all of my entertainment articles are wrestling related. So I'll
Right.
just like look through, see, oh, this headline. That's how I found out about Becky Lynch potential coming back.
Hmm.
Um, Belair and Banks being in the main event now. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully, Becky, I won't mind seeing you kicking more ass
Right.
because she proved it. The one match I really want to watch was it was against with Charlotte and Becky, and I think, was it Banks or was it Asuka? Asuka. I think it was
I think
Banks.
they've had both matches actually
Oh, really?
already,
Like
but
it was a
the
triple
one with
threat.
Banks,
It was a
the one
triple
with Banks
threat.
was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one looks super good. I want to watch that completely.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, there's our 0-5. Oh, what was it? 0-5, or is it gonna be
0-5.
0-6?
She's gonna be 0-6
Oh, okay, okay.
this weekend. She's going into Mania
Yeah,
0-5.
yeah.
So
She's gonna pull the opposite of the Undertaker. She's gonna have a losing streak. I hope they. Yeah, I hope she's cool about that. I hope they do have that, like just a losing streak.
well,
But
she's a big. From what I've heard, she's a huge complainer behind the scenes, where she thinks that she's being misused and all this, and she's almost left a couple times.
oh
So,
yeah, I heard about that one. She's like, Vince
so
was
who
like, I'll give you
knows?
30 days, and she.
Yeah, and then she was fine. Yeah, like
Yeah,
you're gonna turn down all this money, and AEW's women's division is a joke. So like you can't. You have no leverage.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's true.
yeah, but
Anyway,
all right.
continuing on with the probably an exhibition match. Pretty much it is. The Bad Bunny and what was his name? Something Priest.
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest
Hmm.
versus The Miz and John Morrison. All right, let's continue on.
Right, Skip.
Oh
Fuck that
man,
shit. No.
like you said here, Bad Bunny is gonna get carried either
Yeah. Oh yeah.
by the duo or by Priest. Like,
Hmm.
you're not. I like Priest. I saw him in Royal Rumble. I thought he did a great job, keeping up and staying in time, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't knowing WWE, Bad Bunny will win, of course, because the Miz and Morrison is a bunch of jokes at the moment.
Which is just criminally BS, because the Miz and Morrison are just great talents, and
I like.
they deserve better.
I mean, Miz is great as a heel. I feel like if Randy retires now, he can pick up the heels of heels persona.
Oh, I mean, honestly, dude, did you see the Talking Smack segment between the Miz and Daniel Bryan years ago before Bryan came back?
no.
Dude, you got to watch that. The Miz is a better heel than Randy Orton is.
Oh,
I think. I mean,
he's definitely had the mouth.
yeah, and his work in the ring, dude, has gotten so good over the years. I mean, he can carry people now
I
where he
bet.
used to be carried,
That's
So
true.
to me, he's actually probably one of the most underrated guys, and even John Morrison, dude, is super athletic,
Oh yeah.
it's like
Oh yeah.
does all that parkour, and he's an actor, like very, very good and skilled, but just
Yeah.
underused,
I just don't like the
comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Priest, I feel like, he still has work to do, but it's great that he's getting some more limelight. Unfortunately, it's gonna be an exhibition match. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, like I said, it's gonna be an exhibition match. We already know who's gonna win because WWE.
What's gonna happen is watch. What's gonna end up happening is Bad Bunny's gonna get on the top rope while Miz is down. Damian Priest is gonna grab him, throw him on the Miz, and then pin 1, 2, 3. That's probably what's gonna
I
fucking
bet,
happen.
or Damian Priest will set it up, and then Bad Bunny will end it, finished it.
Yeah, he'll slip off the top rope again.
Yeah. Then all right. Anyway, we're done with that
Mhm.
matchup because I don't. they could have picked a. I feel like they could have picked a better celebrity.
Yeah, yeah, but
yeah,
I think they wanted some more of the Latino demographic, so that's
true.
what they brought. So
all right, next one, Cesaro. I don't.
Cesaro.
What was it? Swiss
The
Superman.
Swiss cyborg.
Or
The
the
Swiss
Swiss cyborg.
Yeah.
I heard Superman as well at one point. I don't,
Yeah. They've done both.
Yeah. Versus Seth Rollins. This is gonna be a good match.
It might steal the show.
Because,
I mean, I'm not a Cesaro guy, but him and Seth Rollins already have chemistry together, and Seth Rollins has chemistry with anybody. So
who did Seth fought in Fastlane? Was it Shinsuke?
I think so. I think that was part of the whole, or it may have been. I don't even think. I think I missed Fastlane actually, so I don't even remember.
I only watched like the finals, like the Bryan versus Reigns match, because I already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, dusty finish. Yep. It's just
as much as I hated it, it's so predictable. Like I said, WWE is kind of predictable now. But yeah, like I see your opinion is like Cesaro is gonna win. It seems like. What was it? Maybe they'll push Cesaro for champion.
What it seems like, because it's kind of like the Daniel Bryan factor, where the WWE universe loves Cesaro, which he's a big dude, he's good in the ring, but his mic skills suck, so but the thing is, I mean, maybe Seth wins and they try to do the Seth versus Roman shit again for the 50,000th time, who knows?
I feel like this one could be better because it's a heel versus heel. And who's gonna be the face of SmackDown in a way? The Visionary Messiah versus the Tribal Chief. I feel like this one's a lot better than the former face versus heel sort of thing that they've been having.
That's true.
Having two heels fight off as the main guy of SmackDown would work a lot better. But yeah, I say Cesaro wins. Gets a championship main event card, and then Rollins, of course, if Reigns loses the title, Reigns versus Rollins will be
or even Rollins versus Edge, dude, would be sick.
Yes, that
would be sick.
Yes, okay, I'm fine with that. All right, Vince, our number is you can contact us here.
Right,
I can send you my email. Anyway. I feel like this next one is just like a filler, because I mean I haven't really watched Raw, so the only thing I feel like is most likely gonna happen is what you said. Woods turning heel, potentially joining the Hurt Business, fingers crossed, and now the new day is the old day. Because Big E is now on SmackDown, which is he's doing great. Except what they did with Apollo Crews. I heard mixed things about Apollo. Some people like his storyline now, but you said that. I mean, I agree with the accent. I feel like they just
the storyline's great. He doesn't need the fucking accent.
Yeah.
He's not even born in Nigeria. Like, he was born in California. So you can't do that.
Yeah.
That is another stuff
Classic
in Civil War era BS. Yes,
Classic
the race shit. It's just disgusting. But I do like the character, the ruthless, the ruthless guy. But
the Fastlane match was pretty.
But to me, he almost seems like a cheap dollar store version of like Roman Reigns, like what they're trying to do with him, the tribal chief type thing. It seems like they're kind of trying to rip that off
Nigerian
onto Apollo.
Prince and all.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, that's true. But maybe no, they're not. They just started the whole Nigerian Prince storyline with him. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe they'll, if he loses this one, he joins the Hurt Business. But I was like,
well, he could, but he's got to keep the accent now.
Yeah,
so it's gonna fuck everything up. So
why did Vince, call us? We'll write your characters for you. God damn it!
I'll do it for free. Shit.
Exactly. We'll be the Eric Bischoff of WWE.
There you go. Yes.
All right, another stupid match. Steel cage match between Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman. Guess what? We're gonna see on top of that cage match, coast to coast.
Or he's gonna jump off the damn cage, put Braun through the table, and then we're not gonna know who won the match.
Yeah, because now they're like both incapacitated. Yep.
Right.
Yep. And yeah, like I said, Strowman has to win the match because he's been a joke with his storyline. It sucks.
Yeah.
Like I watched WrestleMania on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yep. Me too. I've watched that.
It's great. That's how I get up. Like that's how I keep up. And dude, I agree with the whole Shane stuff. It's so bad. It's like it's so middle school. It's so pubescent, you know. It's just like
enforced, and it's always the
so
same
forced
shit, dude. Every year this fucker comes back. I got here comes the money, and it's like, oh god, let me grab my gun and just kill myself, you know. Like I can't get behind him. I loved Shane when he was younger, and when they did the WCW shit was just gold.
Yeah,
but he's not there anymore, you know. Like, and also like we were talking. Yeah, he's old as hell, and like we were talking about like on Facebook like about a month or so ago, is I think Stephanie should take over the company, but you already know you already know that Shane's going to be the head of it probably. You know, I mean, unless it's going to be Triple H.
I would say if Stephanie doesn't get it and Shane gets it, I hope Stephanie just keeps on just be the head of creative stuff. Because
her and Triple H, because
exactly.
Triple H has done a great job with NXT, so
NXT
and the women too. He was a big part of the women.
Yeah, that's so true. And I know NXT is his baby and all, and that's all. He's like putting everyone over because he knows his time is done. And but I would say McMahon is a much better heel, corporate heel than Triple H, because him being a heel is just Triple H being a heel. Yeah, compared to McMahon, he's just like, yeah, I'm the boss, and I can fire your ass anytime I want. You know, so it's great.
Yeah, but the thing is with Triple H though is like, yeah, he can't fire you, but he can fucking kill you. You know what I mean?
That's true. He looks like
I'd rather be fired than have to go against Triple H in any kind of match, and it brings out the sledgehammer and then pops my head in, so
blood everywhere. Next thing you know, you're getting in, or you got put in a figure 4 for some reason as a way to remember the Nature Boy.
Right.
Well, it looks like that was the last one on our list. I feel like for night 1, who do you think will open it up?
It's got to be either the tag match or Rollins versus Cesaro, I think. It's got to be. Or they could go with Bad Bunny and The Miz, because sometimes they like to open with one of the bigger pushed matches. So maybe it'll be the Bad Bunny shit, but I don't know. Or they could just go straight in with the Lashley versus McIntyre, which they have done before. So we'll toss up.
Yeah, I was about to say, what about starting out with possibly the worst match of the night? Okay, before I continue here, what would you say is the worst match in night 1?
That's not even a question. The Bad Bunny match is going to be the worst match of all year. I don't. There's no way that works at all. There's just no way. And I mean, maybe that's just one man's opinion, but I don't see it, dude. That's got to be the worst match. And I mean, I could see Strowman versus McMahon being shitty, but at the same time, with the steel cage gimmick, it already elevates it past, the Bad Bunny match. Yeah. So,
what I was thinking is like they use the Bad Bunny as like a little filler. Because that's pretty much what it is at this point. It's a filler match with the tag team. But anyway, so yeah, so night 1, you say that they're gonna open up with either Seth and Cesaro, or is it the tag matches, right? Or no?
It could be the tag match. It could be the tag match between Kofi and AJ and Omos. Yeah,
I feel like that should start it out.
Or that'll be the pre-show for the first night. You never know.
That's so. We're missing the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, which I've only seen once where Gronk joined in. That's the only time I've seen one. I was like, I like Battle Royales, but this is weird. All right, on to
on to night 2.
Actually, who do you think will steal the match? The night. I know you said Cesaro and Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
but do you think
that's the one? That's the one I have to see that I think will steal the show, just because it's more of a mid card match.
Yeah.
It's not really have been overly pushed. You know,
that's true. It's I mean, sudden in my opinion.
Right, and I could see where even the main event is the show stealer, depending on what happens there. You know, with Banks and Belair, because they already have good chemistry, and Belair could carry a dead body in the ring. So you know, it's just.
But in your opinion, without just from speculation, which one would you say?
Cesaro and Seth Rollins, okay. for sure.
All right, night 2.
Dun dun dun.
I like this triple threat, but at the same time, I don't like it because it's a triple threat. I just want a Reigns versus Edge. That's my dream match.
Yeah, and people. Okay, so I don't like the way that we got to it.
Yeah,
it's typical WWE bullshit.
Super forced in.
Yeah, but I like the way that they're doing it, because then it gives people say that Edge is slowed down, but I don't really see that. I just think that the way that they did this was to bring out the rated R superstar, because in the triple threat matches there's no DQ. So he can beat he can beat the shit out of everybody with a chair, do the concerto, he could do everything he wants.
Oh yeah, the one he was about to do on both of them.
And the one he did on Orton too. Yeah. So that's where I can see where that comes, and just that's why they made a triple threat, is maybe for Daniel and Roman to carry the match. But Daniel Bryan's not that much younger than Edge. I mean, maybe like 10 years, something like that. So and they both have injury concerns, so I just think it's going to be great.
Then I would say maybe because of that, because in Royal Rumble, a lot of people had pointed out that Edge, majority of the match was just on the floor.
But he was also in there the entire time. True. I mean, you look when Shawn Michaels went from beginning to end, he was laying around most of the time too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll just see who what comes out of this. I like this. You threw out a story with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they could have The Rock versus the Tribal Chief moment in next year's WrestleMania by having The Rock coming out. I feel like the best way to do this feud is having The Rock come out and say, "Hey man, what happened to family and such? You're using the Usos like your slaves, I feel like that's the only way, like The Rock taking the title Tribal Chief away from Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And that could potentially have Roman, just have a break for a while.
And you don't even need the title for that match either.
Exactly. It's like it's the title of, it's just the
Tribal Chief title.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it other than calling it a title. Why am I always touching my nose? My nose is itchy. All right. But yeah, all right. This one I don't really care about, and it's the Asuka versus Ripley match.
Yeah.
It's super sudden.
Very sudden.
It's just a way to combat the SmackDown Women's Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that's true. Charlotte Flair. That's true. What happened?
I think. I don't know, dude. She's been off doing probably other stuff, because I know she was like in the Punky Brewster show for Peacock, and like has been doing a bunch of other stuff on the side.
I heard she had heat in backstage, but
because she's with Andrade and probably was mad that they released him, but
they don't have anything for Andrade. Not gonna lie.
Well, he was overrated, to be honest with you. Yeah, because the dude's been in WWE for like 6-7 years, something like that, and still didn't learn how to really speak English and cut a promo. Like, come on, you got to do that, Or, I mean, look at Humberto Carrillo or whatever his name is. Like, he couldn't speak Humberto Carrillo. He's not really on TV anymore, but he was part of the Rey Mysterio storyline with Dominic and all that when it first happened. And he learned English like within a year, like real quick, So you have to be able to connect with your audience, and I don't think Andrade ever did that, So,
Probably
but
need Charlotte.
yeah, but I could see Charlotte getting added there because her and Rhea Ripley have history, and so does
Oh
Asuka,
yeah.
and it'd be a perfect time for Charlotte to come in and beat the shit out of both of them, take the title, and take the Queen back. You know what I mean? So
Become the ultimate heel in Raw.
again, yeah, which is what she needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But if she doesn't, Rhea Ripley's got to win because Asuka just has not
I think.
progressed.
Oh, yeah, I was about to ask, has there been like, I mean, with SmackDown, we have Bianca Belair stuff. They've been building that up.
Mm-hmm.
Since she won, so that had like actual history. But with this match, it's just like, didn't they just sign the contract like last week or the week before?
It was something like that, and then
Yeah,
last week apparently Rhea Ripley turned heel on Asuka during a
that is
tag
so
match.
weird.
But she was already a heel. Like she is like I like Rhea Ripley too. I think that she's like kind of on the same level. Like she's the only one that is like physically able to be on a
Yeah,
level with Charlotte. You
yeah,
know, like as far as stature goes.
yeah.
And they had a great match for the NXT title last year at WrestleMania.
Mm.
So, I could see where I definitely see that Rhea Ripley's got to beat Asuka. There's just no way unless it's the Becky thing again or Ronda Rousey comes back or something like that. So
What do
I
you
don't
think
know.
about Ronda as being as a wrestler?
Okay, so
I know you
great
like I
in the
know you like
ring.
MMA stuff.
She's great in the ring. Of obviously going to be
Yeah,
great in the
yeah.
ring. Okay, but the Roddy Piper shit, I didn't
Oh,
really
yeah, what's up with
understand
that?
much.
Why did she? You know, I thought.
I think it was something about like when she first came in that Piper was like the first one to really like try to help her when he was still alive or something like that.
Hmm,
And that was her favorite wrestler growing up. And that was kind of a tribute to her, the Rowdy Ronda Rousey shit. And that was already her nickname, so coming from MMA. So that's probably why they did it. I didn't get it, but
did you like
I
her
think
as a
she's
heel
great in
though?
the ring. Oh yeah, 100%. Quiet heel. Do the Brock Lesnar shit. Like they
Yeah,
should have put Paul, the
that's
Paul
true.
Heyman with her.
That's true.
Paul Heyman should have been her mouthpiece.
That's true. That's true. Hey,
So
maybe when if she comes back, maybe.
well, that would be cool to have like a Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman as the mouthpiece for both of them, and they just stand there and stare at the camera.
And
Would be
that's pretty
perfect.
much the dominant force in Raw, going
Hmm.
against going against the Hurt Business.
That would be pretty dope. Yeah.
Vince,
Yep. Once we're waiting,
we're
dude.
waiting.
We're
We're just
waiting.
waiting. We're waiting for that phone ring. All right. Before we jump into the squash match of the century, my question wait, actually, I have a couple of questions. Was it Takeover? Is that supposed to be NXT's WrestleMania or?
Yes.
Okay,
That was and that's NXT's WrestleMania
but
was
last year they did perform on WrestleMania.
correct, correct, and I think they either didn't have a takeover or when they did it was like a week before WrestleMania I want to say or something along those
They should
lines.
have. They should have. Do you think they should have implemented NXT in WrestleMania? Like, because we have other like matches here that didn't need to be in WrestleMania.
Right. I think NXT needs to be its own thing because it's just a different style,
That's true. It's more
and it
talent
doesn't
instead of promos.
unless it's Adam Cole, Finn Balor, or Karrion Kross, the big guys, or even Walter,
Yeah.
the NXT UK champion.
Mhm.
Unless it's those guys, they shouldn't be a part of the main roster. They should keep it the developmental and let NXT go against AEW, which they're on the same level,
That's true. Yeah.
So and just worry about Raw and SmackDown as their own brand. That's
Okay.
what I think.
That's true. I believe that.
Hmm.
Oh, excuse me. All right. The squash match. I like. I don't know if it was you. Oh, here we go. It's time for the Legend Killer to take some vacation, and
Well-earned vacation.
Yes, a long ass vacation.
Yes. Couple
Because,
of like 6
like you
months.
said, yeah, I was about to say, like you said, he's been he's been working throughout the COVID era, so that's tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, and he's done some of the best work of his career during the COVID stuff
That's
too,
true.
and it's
That's true.
he deserves some time off and it's time as JR will say, it's time to go learn a new hold. So That's where he needs to go away for a while, learn a new hold, get some rest. He's got a new clothing line that he's doing with his wife. Let him work on that shit.
Yeah, let the side jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a squash match. We already know who's gonna win.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, that's what I'm seeing all over the internet. It's got to be a squash match.
So we're not really sure. Like, we don't really have anything on here to talk about other than that Orton deserves a long vacation after this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
Because what's up with Bray Wyatt prior to this? Was it because his wife was pregnant, or was it because he was sick, or was it?
I think that it was a combination of like his girlfriend now, or wife, whatever she is, having a kid, and also the fact that they kind of watered his character down. They let him get beat quite a few times.
Oh, yeah, that's true with Goldberg.
And you can't do that. Like with the Fiend, like if he's supposed to be this supernatural guy, like he can't be beaten.
Yeah, that's true. Like all.
And they should have never put the title on him either. He doesn't need a title. He's like the Undertaker. He needs to be just taking people's souls and just running around with Alexa Bliss. That's what he needs to be doing. That was a good
inclusion, I would say.
Very good. And she's been top notch with that stuff, dude.
Even though
she's perfect.
I remember, like I mentioned before, that I'm not a really a big fan of this current Alexa Bliss, but as a, just like promos and vignettes, vignettes? Am I saying that?
Vignettes.
Vignettes. She's done great. She could, if a horror movie is soon to come out, she can be the horror itself. She can pull it off. She can be the crazy bitch. But yeah, she's great. She's pretty too. Definitely.
Oh.
I saw her wrestle. Like, I was watching one of the classic matches. I was like, oh my god, she can actually wrestle.
Yeah, no, she's and her ass does not quit either.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, have Bliss and Bray be the current mystical aspect of.
And another thing too is like it's kind of sucky that Karrion Kross won the NXT title, because could you imagine like the Fiend and Alexa versus Scarlett and Karrion Kross? That would be great because they're very similar characters.
Yeah.
It would work perfectly, like absolutely perfectly. But he won the title, so he's going to be in NXT for a while. So
he's not gonna get called to the main roster.
Not for right now, no. So
hey, maybe Finn Balor.
They already kind of did that, and I don't, they don't even use the demon anymore, which I don't understand. Like the demon thing was so cool.
I like the face paint and stuff.
And his mannerisms, the way he just changes, like makes you believe that this dude is literally possessed by a demon. Yeah. So.
All right, moving on. Big E versus Apollo Crews.
Yeah,
I saw you. Like you're gonna. It's a hands down pre-show for you.
It's gotta be.
Yeah,
gotta be.
True. Yeah, Big E will win. Or I don't see a dusty finish for this, but yeah, probably like a roll up, like a
roll up, or even like where Apollo's two guys or whatever get involved somehow
and gets a DQ or something.
And gets a DQ, or somehow maybe Apollo takes the title off of Big E, but you can't take the title off of Big E.
I don't see Apollo taking that. It would be a surprise if they did, but yeah.
Yeah, and then next you got the
match of the century.
KO and Sami Zayn. Did they add Logan Paul to that yet, or was that not?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I have never that's one of the matches where I'm actually not, really excited about or anticipating. It's not.
Me neither. Me neither.
Most likely Owens is gonna be the winner, unless Zayn or Paul decides to interfere, and just take that away from him. But yeah. Kevin Owens. Why do I feel like Night 2 is kind of tame compared to the match list compared to Night 1?
I don't know. Something else too is they could shuffle things around before tomorrow. They may move things around because you got the U.S. Championship and the Intercontinental Championship on the same
one
night.
Yeah, that's true.
I would switch them. Like, I'd put Cesaro and Seth maybe in the second night and put one of the
Yeah,
other title matches on the first night.
I add that mix up in that in the second night, because second night, sure, we have the main event, Edge, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan main triple threat match. But other than that, like, you put down the SmackDown Tag Team Champs title defense. I don't know about that one. I don't know much about the Street Profits. I thought they were new, to be honest.
They've been around for, in the main roster for, I think, about a year or two now.
Yeah, I saw them team up with who was it? It was with like Otis and whoever, the Alpha Flight or Alpha.
Chad Gable.
Yeah, I know they had like some sort of a feud. But there were 4 teams. I forgot who the last team was. It was
they had a match
Ziggler,
tonight. Yeah,
Otis
they had a match
and
tonight.
The guy, and then the Street Profits.
Street Profits, and then one more freaking team, and I don't remember what it was either.
I don't remember either. Oh my god! And they were kind of, they're kind of well known. I just don't remember what they are, who they are.
Yeah.
Maybe here. I don't see the Usos coming back, to be honest. Or, I'm hoping the brother comes back during the Reigns match.
He probably will, and that's where I could see he comes back during the Reigns match, and then if Reigns wins, then The Rock comes out to try to congratulate him.
Yeah,
and then Reigns
just
tears him up. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the tag match. I know that they had the Fatal 4-Way match tonight on SmackDown, so I don't know if they're even going to have one at WrestleMania. And I know that they added.
Well, yeah, the women's tag.
The women's tag match, but blah.
That one, that could also potentially have the return of Charlotte and Bayley, like a lot of people are expecting.
Yeah, but I hate Nia Jax, and she hurts people left and right, and the only reason why she still has a job is because she's related to The Rock. So
really?
Yeah. Yep.
So she's
you didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
She's part of the Anoa'i family.
Oh my god, she's part of the infamous Samoan dynasty.
And that's the only reason why she's still around, because she cannot wrestle.
Yeah,
they've blown her up. Like, before she came to WWE, she was actually like a plus size, like skinny-ish plus size model. And then she came to WWE, and it makes me think that they literally told her, you got to put on all this weight because you got to be a monster. And then they put the flaps on her freaking onesie thing. She just looks... And she's dangerous.
Boyfriend.
Yeah, and Reginald shit. Yeah, and she's dangerous.
I never understood that segment. I was like, what? What's up with the woman's? He was with
Carmella.
Oh, was it Carmella? I thought it was like he was with what's their Belair and Banks' team. Then
he started off with Charlotte. I'm stupid. No, with Carmella.
Yeah.
And he was the sommelier that brought her champagne all the time, like her assistant.
Those vignettes.
Yeah, and then he got kind of in between Banks and Belair, and then Nia Jax is like, "Oh, you're kind of cute."
Yeah, it's like, okay. I don't get that whole storyline. I'm like, I remember seeing that on WrestleMania. I was like, "What's up with this storyline? This is so cringe."
It is terrible.
Oh, it's straight up garbage. I was like, okay, if there's like and I quote, downright ugly, that will be it, in my opinion. Like, the whole mall thing, when they were at the mall, him and Nia, I was like, what is this segment? It's
pretty terrible,
it's
dude.
so forced. Even Nia looked like she doesn't want to be there, even with Reginald. But they tried. But anyway.
They did try.
U.S. champ defense.
Yep.
I don't think Sheamus is gonna win this, in my opinion. I mean, it'll be a great performance regardless, whoever wins. But I just, I think they'll let Riddle keep this one.
He's got to. You
did mention that he did have some heat behind the scenes with the scandal.
Lots of heat. Yes.
Yeah.
But actually, a lot of that was turned out to be actually completely untrue.
Okay, that's good. I hate when that
it was just
happens,
a money grab, is what it was.
Oh.
So, and he's great, dude. I love Riddle. And he's so relatable too, because the dude's stoned 24/7. You know,
that's so true.
And
I heard about his promo the other week where he forgot
every
his line and
promo.
left.
Yeah, but every promo, dude, and then you see him post on Instagram, like the dude is baked. Like there's no, he signed a contract.
Baked, yes.
Yeah, he signed because when he was in UFC and kept getting in trouble for failing drug tests for THC. I could see where he came to WWE and told him, "Look, I'll sign with you, but I'm still gonna smoke pot." And they're like, "Okay, that's great.
That's great.
You know,
can be our,
that's your character.
that's your character. Now you're the in-house stoner."
And if he's not stoned, then he plays it so well, like so freaking well.
I saw the promo and I was just like, this guy. Like I saw a promo with him and Shinsuke, I believe, and I was like, this dude has to be smoking marijuana. There's no way he could be pulling off this blank-faced, like just dead eyes there, like, oh yeah, dude, yeah.
I know, it's golden.
Just, I like his behind-the-scenes stuff. I just don't like his attire. I guess
and barefoot.
Yeah, I from a lot of like superstars, I heard that they like Rob Van Dam first started with barefooted, and he was told to put on boots, I think, or he decided to put on boots after that. You know, I feel like a little bit of tweaks in his in-ring attire should be better, but
his name should be Matt Riddle, not Riddle. I mean,
is
like
it just
he's
Riddle?
not.
I thought it was Matt
Riddle. So they tried to drop his first name, like they've done with a bunch of other people.
Now Apollo Crews is now just Crews.
Yeah, and then there's been others that I can't think of right now because I'm freaking tired. But yeah, but no, and I think it's dangerous to wrestle barefooted because I feel like your foot would you could get some broken toes. You know, broken.
One misstep can either give you a sprained ankle or broken heel.
Mm-hmm. But that guy can work though, and there's nobody that can touch him on endurance at all.
Oh yeah, endurance wise. Oh dude.
I mean, he looks blown up in the ring and is still going at 100 miles an hour, and nobody can stop him. You know,
I just don't like his finish. What's up with that style? It kind of reminds me of the Styles Clash, but modified.
Right. It's the same thing with Cesaro, too, has the same, neutralizer or whatever. It's very similar to the Styles Clash.
Which is also another dangerous move. But only because the one who's receiving it keeps tucking the wrong way.
Exactly, which is actually pretty crazy. That's exactly what happens. They tuck the wrong way because that's the way that they normally tuck, and you're really supposed to do that.
They think that they're going down like that. No, you got to lift your head up. And I heard about that one, and when I heard that McMahon actually okayed it, I was like, "Oh, what's wrong with it?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, superstars tucking the wrong way." I was like, I saw how it goes.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty dangerous if you do it wrong." So.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wow, shit, dude. On a scale from 1 to 10, how excited are you for this year's Mania?
I'm always excited for WrestleMania, so it's got to be a 10. Okay. You know, it's the main show.
Yeah, that's true.
And for me too, it's like the only I don't really miss pay-per-views except for the fast lane shit. You know, the ones that really don't even need to be there. But
I feel like they had way too many pay-per-views.
I miss the days where they had 4 pay-per-views. They had WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam. That's all you need because then you can have more time to build stories in between, and you don't have to be switching things up left and right. You know.
But I like the Great American Bash sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's old school, dude.
Backlash, No Way Out. I thought New Year's Revolution was a
New Year's Resolution or Revolution, some shit like that.
Good. Mm-hmm.
And then you know what I really liked was Taboo Tuesday and Cyber Sunday.
For me,
that was
Cyber
great.
Sunday was great. I love the fact that viewers can vote who they think is gonna win. And
but you know that was actually all BS, right? Yeah. Like they already had
that's what I was
picked out.
I was about to say they can pick who they want to win, but the match is already set still. So
and I mean what it was supposed to be is not who was going to win, but who you wanted to face each other. So it'd be like one champion, and then you have 4 choices, and then the fans would vote. but that was already picked, you know. But it's a great idea for the future where they could actually do it and have fans actually vote, and then they actually choose it. It would be great. Yeah, it should have been done during COVID. Honestly, I think they would have had a lot more fan interaction. Yeah,
especially with the whole,
the Thunderdome,
all this like webcam and stuff, which I find. I'm trying to see how much it is so I can, you know. I heard Goldberg was on it one time, which is hilarious. I saw it. I forgot where. I think it was I think it was this year, and they were like, "Oh look, Goldberg in the back," and yada yada. I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious." Goldberg's just watching the match like a regular fan. That was pretty cool. But yeah, like you said, Cyber Sunday would have been perfect. What about I forgot what Taboo Tuesday was. Was it like?
It was the same thing, the same concept.
But it's on a Tuesday night leading to a Sunday pay-per-view, or is it like a pay-per-view on a Tuesday night?
It was just a pay-per-view on a Tuesday.
Okay,
it was
maybe
just
that's why it became a Cyber Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the same exact concept. Yeah. So it's a great concept, and now it was ahead of its time then, but now it would be perfect. But you know,
in my opinion, I feel like Hell in a Cell, TLC, Money in the Bank. I feel like those are like those. I feel like those should be just show stealers rather than pay-per-view.
Yeah, and just have the match in a different pay-per-view, like a Backlash, like how it used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you know they used to have Money in the Bank during WrestleMania every year. You know, Hell in a Cell match would be during WrestleMania or Royal Rumble.
Or you know, just have it or SummerSlam. You know, I feel like if they just use it like this, they could actually. I want to say like either a quarter or a half where they can you know take off that much pay-per-view.
Yeah, even having one every 3 months, which is what the original thing was. You know, the first 4.
Yeah.
You know that's perfect because then you have 3 months to build stories. You can do the slow burn. Yeah. And then after the 3, you have the blow off match at SummerSlam. Then you start something new. You know.
Okay, here's my question for you. Out of all the big pay-per-views, which one would you say is the worst?
Like overall, or just one particular?
Like overall. This one's overall compared to earlier.
SummerSlam. I think that SummerSlam is overrated, and they always try to make it like the WrestleMania of the summer, but the matches just never very good. Especially nowadays, it's just almost all throwaway shit. You know.
I was about to say like, I know. I'm not sure where. I think it was a video where I know that everyone's just like, yeah, you know, lead up to SummerSlam, and then SummerSlam is the reboot. I guess like anything before SummerSlam and in between WrestleMania and SummerSlam acts like, here's some ideas that we're gonna pitch, see which one's gonna work, and then after SummerSlam, that's where we go on.
Exactly, and then that's when they figure out. Yeah,
throw in someone else.
Exactly.
The match and such.
Exactly. So yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. SummerSlam has been. I've never looked forward for SummerSlam because, one, WrestleMania, you know, shows, and then you have this SummerSlam at this awkward position where it's the first pay-per-view. Was it first? I think it is the first, right? The first pay-per-view after.
It's like the first major pay-per-view after WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, yeah.
Is it? WrestleMania, Royal Rumbles. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because it's SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania.
Yeah, the main 4.
Yeah. Which Survivor Series has been good most years. So
I heard Bragging Rights one year. Is that also Survivor Series?
It was similar. It was like a SmackDown versus Raw type thing, you know, that they did like the video game kind of. It was very similar to where it's like each match was a Raw superstar or champion versus champion type shit. You know, it was very similar. It was like a weaker version of Survivor Series, basically.
Okay, because I remember looking through, I was like, Bragging Rights. But they have like a Raw and SmackDown, you know, the shirts.
Right.
Like, you mean Survivor Series?
Yeah, I think it was only a one-time pay-per-view too, because it just didn't do well.
Yeah.
So
then there's Crown Jewels, which I watched.
Oh my god, dude!
That was the most
stupid shit, dude.
That was the. like I get that it's Saudi Arabia, but where's the energy?
No energy at all,
No energy.
and they're just
I
doing it for
turned
the
it off.
money.
Yeah, exactly. I turned it off. I was like, I want to watch the 50-man Royal Rumble, but all these characters, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is here.
Mm-hmm.
Dead silence.
Yep.
I was like,
yeah, and the
what's
sad
problem?
part about it is too is like it's on like what like noon or some shit over here, so like nobody really watched it on WWE Network, you know,
and it's kind of awkward, not gonna lie, you know, because yes, the show is for like what was it, Saudi Arabia?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then I just see these people like from all over the world. I was like, damn, where did you guys get the money to watch? Not only buy a ticket for WrestleMania, but for hotel, for flights, food. I'm like, dude, where do you get? How much money did you guys save up for this one pay-per-view? I would have saved that money for WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, get as much money. It's so much.
And the sad part about those pay-per-views too is like a lot the women's wrestlers weren't allowed to wrestle. You know, even like Renee Young had to wear like cover her whole body and her head and like all that shit. And it's like, come on, like if you accept it, like if you are going to respect like our customs, then we'll respect yours. But if you're not going to respect our customs, why the hell should we respect your customs? You know, it's like.
It was tough,
yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's all for money. Like, it sucks, but business is business.
And it was mainly just a show put on just for the prince, apparently, too. You know, and it's like, really, dude, like.
That's just, I guess, I mean, it's come over here, but then again.
How about give the money to your people that are starving in the streets? You know what I mean? Like, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, that's a completely different conversation. But anyway, pretty much, you know, I don't even know how long we've been going.
It's been like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I was like probably close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like probably close to 2 hours. Let me quickly check. Whoop. Yep, 2 hours and 9 minutes. Not too bad.
That's a lot of content.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. I mean, it's gonna be one long video. You know, I gotta make sure I get the download too. Like, this is gonna be second episode. You know. Then the next one is you again, you know, for the post WrestleMania discussion on what.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens, man. I'll be taking notes.
Yeah, we gotta compare our opinions from before and after WrestleMania, so that's gonna be hilariously interesting.
Very much.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know it's 11 o'clock already. Our time.
Our time.
Tomorrow is WrestleMania Night 1. This episode, I'll try to get it up and running by tomorrow morning for sure. So we can still have the time to talk about, or, you know, for people, if, you know, the people who are interested to watch and see what we think of the WrestleMania. And then have their own, you know, if they watch this next episode, they're like, oh, they must be interesting. We might, you know, watch some clips on YouTube, like how I always do with WrestleMania or any pay-per-view, you know, Google, YouTube, Kurt Angle versus whatever. Boom, watch it there. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels on a pay-per-view. Boom, there we go. So, King Booker versus King of the Kings. Triple H. That was a good match, dude.
Underrated Booker T, man. Underrated as hell.
I'm still upset that I went to a Comic-Con and motherfucker was there.
Oh yeah, Booker you told me the story. Yeah,
and I was so I felt bad that I didn't have money. Like I was invited because they had an extra ticket. My buddy had an extra ticket, gave it to me, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll just walk around. I saw an actor that I like from The Flash, so I was like, hey, oh man, I want to meet that guy. But when I was in the line for that guy, I looked over. I saw they have wrestlers, and I saw Booker T. I was like, I don't want to ask more money from my friend, dude. I feel bad already. And she was offering. I was like, hey, she was like, you want to go up to? I was like, no, you know, it's too much.
I would have taken that shit. Hell
I would have.
Dude.
But I would have. Not gonna lie, they were expensive. $40.
Oh,
$40 for just a signature. $20. Like, dude, I could probably get a poster with that for cheaper. But I have it up there. It's one of my favorite moments. But yeah, I would have gone up to Booker T. I would probably say, I hated you as King Booker, but god damn it, you're good. Definitely
amazing, and a fellow Houstonian. So
and
so no, on
growing
top.
up for me, I was a big I practiced the spinner-rooney.
The spinner-rooney, hell yeah, dude. We used to do that shit on trampolines, man.
Oh, dude, I
hell
did mine on carpet, so I have fucking carpet burn, dude. I have carpet burn.
Oh, my lord.
And I got it. For a couple of years. It became my party trick sometimes. And, I just grew out of WWE, and I haven't done it since.
Well, hey, but now you're back, so you need to work on that spinner-rooney.
Who knows, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We want to see it on the podcast next time.
If I have space, I barely have space now. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to take up too much time. It's already 11 p.m. with us. 2 hours, hey, not too bad. That's plenty of content. I mean, technically, I did go to the bathroom for 2 minutes. So anyway, well, thank you, David, for joining me today, talking about wrestling, as a lot of people would call it, wrestling. And thank you for, dude, like I said, one of the most entertaining and interesting conversations I had with you. Talking about wrestling, something you've been a big fan of. I grew up with it. I don't know if I can call myself a fan because, I took a break and now I'm just playing.
We've all taken breaks though, dude. I mean, even when I think it was in high school, I wasn't even super into wrestling then, but I just had a lot of time to just catch up, on that shit.
And now, like you said, I have the time now. Sometimes on my lunch breaks, I would just watch a match. Which is like 5 to 7 minute match. Perfect. I can, while eating lunch, I'll just watch a quick match and boom, I'm done. Take a nap for my lunch and then go back to work. And
there you go.
Playing catch up. So it was pretty cool hearing your side, the more experienced side. Where my side is more I won't say newbie, but left behind in a way. My WWE knowledge only reached up to 2007. Even though I quit, I stopped at 2008. 2007 was my last match or last story. Oh, when did Sheamus came in? I tried to watch Sheamus in, and I was just like, yeah, this is boring, and I stopped.
That was early 2000s, 2005, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So
wait, really, Sheamus?
Yeah, he's been around for fucking ever, dude.
Around the same time. 2009.
No, it was around the same time. It's got to be almost 20 years now. I mean, he's been around for a long time.
Damn, so he must have been a mid card for a while or a low card.
He was. Well, actually, when he first came, shit, we're just gonna keep talking all night.
I know, right?
But
when Sheamus,
right? But when Sheamus came in, he was actually pushed pretty hard, and he's a Triple Crown winner.
I was about to say, I remember he won the that's why he kind of stopped. He got the WWE Championship from Cena. I was like, who cares about this Irish?
I can't even watch because I'm blinded. I'm blinded by this white skin. Yeah.
No, it's more like, who cares about this Celtic warrior guy? It just took us. Who is this guy? So I was like, screw it. WWE's done. I hate it. Now I'm just like, oh, Cesaro with Sheamus, the bar. That's a good idea. And I saw their WrestleMania, what was it, 33? The tag team match. I saw their entrance. I was like, holy shit.
No, they were great together.
I bet.
But then did you see what happened to Cesaro's teeth during one of those matches?
I heard about it.
Oh my god, dude! It was so painful to watch.
I heard about that from the.
I couldn't watch the replays. I could not watch the replays.
I told myself if I'm gonna see that, I probably will never watch it again. I'll never watch that scene again. No. Was something about getting bashed on a wall, right?
No, he went up on was running towards the turnbuckle, and I guess somebody moved out of the way, and he went to go over and slap his hand on the top of the pole that holds. But hit his teeth and shot his front tooth 10 centimeters into his gum and chipped a bunch of them. And just it was bad, and he had blood coming from his mouth the whole match, but he finished the match. So
hey, if people see color, you know,
which we don't get to see anymore, which is fucking stupid.
Ruthless
but
aggression added to there. It's like every other week there's blood on.
Well, shit, dude. Back in the '80s, I mean, like Ric Flair was cutting his forehead every damn hour. Like
that is
Dusty
true.
Rhodes was cutting his head. I mean, everybody was bleeding like crazy.
But now, barely any color.
And you can't. Sponsors will drop you real quick, and that's where they make all their money. So they can't do it.
Yeah, that sucks, but it is the business, unfortunately.
Yes, indeed.
But for the third, maybe fourth time of me saying it, before I take up too much of your time, we're gonna end it here. Before we talk more about wrestling, we'll save that the next
for episode. Next time.
Yeah, probably Monday if you're available.
I can find time.
Yeah, either sometime next week for sure.
Yeah.
But so thank you, David, for giving me this opportunity to talk about.
Hey, thank you. I mean,
this is fun. That
it's a blast, fun. Man. Definitely.
We're back and forth. I'm asking questions to you like a good interviewer. Hey.
Yeah, that's you.
Yep. And playing catch up. You're giving me like pretty much the summary of what happened during the time I missed. And not gonna lie, like I said earlier, like we're back and forth with ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So Vince.
Yep, we're still here. H-Town, baby. We're
H-Town, here. Houston, Texas. HTX. Call us. We'll make your characters. We'll sell your we'll sell your characters. Straight up. We'll be the Eric Bischoff. We're not gonna stay in one faction this time, though.
Nope.
That's the downfall of WCW. Unfortunately, too much NWO. Anyway.
Yep.
Well, David, thank you. And,
thank you, dude.
So, to all the viewers out there, to those who are listening, those who are watching, those who are interested, if you guys have any other idea of what I can, who I can talk about, like K-pop, possibly, other geeky things. That's the idea.
Hey, we need to have an Office podcast too.
Hey, the Office podcast. That's true. Soon.
Yep, that's our other specialty. So
that's true. Especially
got my Threat Level Midnight shirt on.
Okay, see, I saw that picture earlier. I was like, why does that guy look familiar? I was like,
My wardrobe consists mainly of office attire and wrestling. That's about it.
I used to have a John Cena shirt that I would always wear because it was during the hustle, loyalty, respect.
Oh yeah, HLR. Yeah,
HLR's persona. I remember I got back recently. I was just like, I want to buy a belt, $300. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, it's just dude. When we were kids, those belts were like $100.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, it was expensive, but it wasn't $300.
No, inflation, dude.
Yeah, dude. Well, anyway, like I said, if you guys have any more ideas, hey, I'm here. All things geeky happens all the time. Everyone geeks out with all sorts of stuff. Wrestling, comic books, Gundams, The Office, all sorts of stuff. Geeks Reviews will handle it. Well, David, alright guys, my name is Rainier. My special guest is David. And we shall talk to you guys later.
See you later, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.